Hey, everybody. Good to see you guys. Glad you could make it. It's good to be here. Good to see you too, Luca. Glad you could make it, man.
Yeah, thank you, Keith.
hmm
You know.
so,
It's,
it's again a Charlie Kirk evening because it seems that people just don't want to understand that the guy literally did die. Quite a sad thing. So, we're going to go through some of the people's arguments that people present and say why they say it's fake and practically just debunk it. How's that sound?
yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to play some things, and if you guys have anything you want to add to the discussion, you can either hit the link and come in, or yeah, you can just send a super chat, and we will read it out. But it's good to see you guys. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate all the people that support this channel. You guys rock. So I think we're going to start off with first Charlie Kirk supporting Israel, because this is the thing I've been getting the most these days. Is saying Charlie Kirk didn't support Israel. Have you heard that?
Um, yes, I have from yesterday's streams. Southern Soul, I think, said it then.
Which is kind of nonsense. He was a big supporter of Israel. And this specific video I'm bringing up now is talking on how he affirms that the Bible
PJ.
teaches
Yo,
that
yo.
we should support Israel. What's up, PJ? Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, just literally finished. I just timed that just kind of perfectly. Just kind of. I started talking too much at the beginning of the sermon. My plan was just to go all through, just listen to the sermon. But you start talking. I wanted to get finished well before, but it just finished just in time. I was like, "There's a link, guys, for Flat Tears. I'm off to Flat Tears. Bye."
Yeah, put your link maybe in the chat so people can go watch, because PJ does an awesome series at the moment going through the Bible, which is really awesome.
It was a sermon today. It wasn't the Bible today.
Oh,
But
today's
it was
a
a
sermon.
sermon by Vodi Boschman. But yeah, tomorrow I'll be doing a sermon in the Bible. Tomorrow morning I'll probably do the Bible again. Yeah.
Nice.
I'll go get my.
So I'm going to be showing a few things today, just practically going through against claims made.
Yeah.
The first claim I'm bringing up is they say Charlie Kirk didn't support Israel.
Okay.
Now, this is a very recent debate, by the way. And this is to show, yes, Charlie Kirk was 100% for Israel. And the reason he was behind Israel was because the Bible told him to do so.
Right. He spoke about it, didn't he?
Yes.
There you go. Man,
Okay.
it's his testimony. So, who am I to say his testimony is wrong?
Exactly. Yeah.
So much support and aid to Israel when we have so many problems in our own country first. It's the same argument on why we shouldn't be sending $300 billion to Ukraine. Why are we funding another war?
Part of it is that we do get a lot in return from weapons, technology benefits, but again, I believe we have a moral obligation to be able to protect the cradle of civilization, that we as Christians have to honor the Jews. In our scriptures, it does say that we should bless the Jews. Genesis 12:3, bless those descendants that bless me. And we have a covenant with Israel. And you're Christian?
Yes, I'm a Christian.
Okay, well-
I'm actually Palestinian.
Okay.
At the end of the day, we're all people. We should all be respecting and honor others. We should not be hitting our neighbor, you know what I mean?
So you say you're Palestinian. Do you think Israel has a right to exist?
Of course.
Okay, then we can agree.
Yeah.
That's a big statement. Do you think that anti-Semitism is real?
Of course.
Okay, great. Then I really don't have much to disagree with on.
That's why I think he brought that up. That was brilliant.
Absolutely. I haven't got anything to disagree with you on. Fair play to you.
And it was a very recent debate. What's up, Roger? Good to see you.
My voice is not that good.
Oh, yeah, what wrong, man?
It's rough, isn't it?
Yeah. My grandson's still sick too, so we're both under the weather.
I think he was
Well, I hope
drinking
you guys
sandpaper.
get better soon.
See?
He was drinking sandpaper, I think.
No.
It sounds like it, bro. I'm only joking. Obviously,
I got a frog in the throat.
Yeah.
I'm drinking.
Sandro, he wasn't speaking against Israel itself. He was speaking against, he doesn't agree with what Benjamin Netanyahu was doing. That doesn't mean he doesn't support Israel. Just the same with us. I don't support really what Benjamin Netanyahu is doing either, 100%. But I support Israel.
Of course.
Understand?
We don't trust the government.
Exactly. Hey, Greg, how's it
Hey,
going?
Doing good. How you doing?
Good, good.
Have you ever seen a 30-06 hit a 30-06 round hit?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and it shreds it, right?
Depends how far you are, what gun you
No,
got,
no,
how
no,
the
no.
weather
You
is.
a person can take a 30-06 and drop a deer at 200 yards. Drop a deer. A
You can
deer.
drop it, yeah, but doesn't mean, yeah.
A deer. This dude supposedly got shot
Yes.
in the neck. It would have shredded his neck. Nobody behind him
It
got
was
nobody.
ricocheted.
Nobody behind him got splattered.
It was
There would
ricocheted.
be. It would have
Okay.
overpenetrated.
Okay,
Oh,
Greg.
It would have
come on.
This is not how the
overpenetrated
show's gonna
and
go.
went
Greg,
through.
Greg, this is not how the
No,
show's
no, no,
gonna go.
no,
You're
no,
not gonna
no,
come
no.
on my show and overtalk me. If you
No,
want to be on here,
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you what. Go look up a
If
30-06.
you want to be on here, you're going to be respectful and you're going to actually listen. It was ricocheted.
I am. I'm trying to be respectful.
was
Trying to be.
ricocheted. It was ricocheted off of his vest.
Okay. I know that. I say I ricocheted. That means it changes its angle and it's going forward while it's going at an angle. That means you ever seen a bullet tumble? That's pretty much what a ricochet is. It hits the minimum. So therefore, it's going at an angle into a person's neck. A 30-06 is going to rip it slap to shreds, and it's going to blow out the top of his head. The bullet would not stop in his head if it ricocheted. It would continue in his neck, and it would go out the other side.
Okay.
Of life, we're all going to have to accept.
Okay. So I sent you a few links today. to
No,
show you
look. Links do not match going out there and shooting the gun itself. Don't say pen and paper outdoes experience. Anybody that shot a 30-06 knows it's going to overpenetrate. Anybody else? Anybody? I'm trying to be respectful. I want to ask the panel a question. If you were true deer hunters, you know you're going to drop a deer with a 30-06 at 200 yards, and it might overpenetrate. And it might, and now if it's a human neck, it's going to overpenetrate. I'm going to show you this. This round right here is a 7.62 by 5.4R. It will penetrate through my rifle a 500R Armour. And see, it's Bulgarian made. Obama banned this ammo because it has ties to Russia. I can go to the gun store now and buy Russian ammunition for my, I can buy Russian ammunition for my rifle today. Why can't I buy this Bulgarian ammo that will penetrate a 500R AR 500 Armour? I'll tell you why. I can penetrate their body armor with this. A 30-06, I can put a 30-06 in my rifle and shoot it. A 30-06 because the casing's different. Now, a 30-06 than this 7.62 by 5.4R. And I can get a sporting round and it would overpenetrate a human neck. If it ricocheted, it would go in here and it would come out up here. And the back of my skull would be missing. Do not sit here and say pen and paper prove. Do not sit here and say pen and paper
You won't
prove.
even let me talk. You won't even let me talk.
Proven ballistics
You
wrong.
won't even let me talk.
Oh,
Okay, so let me correct you.
Continue.
First of all, I sent you all
Y'all
kinds
can
of
go
links.
ahead and talk. Hold on. I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna watch
Okay.
this on the.
He's gone.
See what I mean?
Okay. First of all, I sent him a whole bunch of links to explain to him how he's wrong. He thinks that weather alone doesn't even change the dynamics of velocity of a bullet. Yes, it does. How do you even know the barrel of the gun was even perfect? How do you know it was even looked after? Anything? There's a lot of variables at play that give the effect. You can shoot from the same rifle 200 yards at the same deer and have an explosion, and the next you don't have an explosion. It depends where it hits. It depends on the weather. It depends on the grade ammunition you got. It depends on the weapon you got. Okay? Now, also, what I'm trying to tell him is this shows ricochet off of the armor plating. When a bullet ricochets off of an armor plating, it's not to say it's just going to have a straight bounce.
Right.
it can have the back hitting him. It can hit him from the side. It's already taken most of the impact on the body armor, which means it's lodged into that. How can you expect it just to go through?
Look, grab a coffee, man.
No
Can I
stress.
ask you a question?
Yeah,
Is
go
there
ahead.
did they show an exit wound at all in any of the footage? Is there an exit wound for the bullet?
No.
And what size round was it? I mean,
A
my
36.
M1. Okay, my M1 carbine. I actually have armor plating or armor piercing bullets for it, and it will go through. I've shot it through a car and a block, all the way out the other side. It will penetrate that far with armor piercing. It's the coating on the bullet and the shape of it.
Yeah.
If that was, I don't think Gallo was shooting armor piercing bullets neither. So
No, but also we're saying there's a lot of red flags when it comes to the shooter himself.
Yeah.
And the gun that they presented and stuff. We don't, it until all that information really comes out properly, you can't really just trust it. That's what we're saying. But the fact is, Charlie Kirk really was shot. Now, people are trying to make excuses and saying, "Oh, I know he wasn't really shot." Like Oink, because he's saying, "Oh, you should be his whole neck should have been blown off." No, nonsense. You got many variables to contend with.
Yeah, but it'll be really if they don't release anything, then it's going to look really more suspect.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have like a Warren report. It'll be the same idea, and it's going to make it worse. So they need to do full disclosure of this stuff. There's a lot of people looking at it.
Yeah. Hey, Luke, how's it going? Don't know if you can hear us.
Luke.
Hey, Luke, are you muted, man?
Luke.
But anyway, I've got a video. Speaking of armor, you can see this. I stopped it on the screenshot specifically because you can clearly see the armor. And if anybody's ever shot anything and you've realized what the impact does to lift the shirt up like that, that is from an impact. Okay, so that means the bullet first hit, which we're claiming to be armor here, and then ricocheted up into his neck.
Uh-huh.
Because this would only happen with contact. This cannot happen without contact. You would agree?
So, because it ricocheted off of his arm into his neck, that would also give some validity to the shooter, to what they say about the shooter, the 22-year-old, right? Because it wasn't a good shot. It ricocheted and then found its target, I guess.
At that range, man, you guys told to hit your targets. You got to be good.
Mm-hmm. No, that's what I'm saying. I don't believe. I personally don't really believe that was the shooter, because it was quite a marksman shot. Otherwise, it was a fluke. You know what I mean? A real fluke getting it.
Yeah.
I mean, it did ricochet, so you could call it a fluke.
He's probably going for a heart shot, dude, from what it looks like. So I'm thinking it's
Maybe,
smaller.
yeah,
caliber.
probably, yeah. Because that's also you to kill someone with a gun, you'd probably want to aim at the heart or their brain.
The head.
Yeah, well, the thing is, if they know he has armor on, they're going to try and aim as high as possible as well.
Yeah, then you'd probably aim for the head area.
And if it was a ricochet like it seems to be, that means he did aim at his chest.
Yeah.
And didn't know he had armor on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look, it's the round that kills him, not the gun.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm thinking like a 9mm is about, if I had to go with a size for what I seen the entry point.
But just look at what this guy says about this though.
Disturbed. But this shirt collar is moved all the way up to his ear. When I first saw this video, what it looked like to me is that Charlie Kirk was shot in the left side, and it looked like a direct hit into the left side of his neck. And I was also looking for an exit wound. But that doesn't explain why the shirt was moved the way that it was. As we move forward a little bit, I want you to see.
You see
the
bullet.
Here. I want you to notice that there is a spot.
Oh, yeah.
You see, that's the bullet hole.
In his neck. Yeah, I see it.
No, in the
Here's
shirt.
his neck.
In the shirt. He's
You can
pointing
show.
at the shirt.
You can
So the
see
bullet
there's
went through
the
his-
that's the remember there's the hole out of the shirt.
Yeah. So it
After
hit
he-
that,
and then it
and then
ricocheted and
down
went
it
into
got.
his neck.
Okay, I see. I see.
Yeah. I think that King Nico was using that as AI of some kind of mark jumping from his t-shirt to his neck.
King Nico has been unhinged these last few days.
He's selling his
King
channel.
Nico needs a good therapist.
He's selling his channel. Last night he had a stream up saying he was selling his channel. He's saying, you guys ain't sharing my links, so I'm selling my channel, basically. He's saying he's had enough of this bullshit. He's selling his channel.
Raza B, this guy doesn't conclude that there is no armor. He says if we do look at it without armor, he also gives a reason to what it is. But we're looking at all the evidence, not just some of the evidence. Got another video from him.
Shirt. And that spot on the shirt also correlates with the very top edge of this body armor. And you can also see the first appearance of an entrance wound, and that's really weird too. So when we see an entrance wound from a firearm, especially on the skin and something in an area that's soft tissue like the neck, we normally don't see such a large hole there with the entrance wound. We just don't. When skin is pierced, whether it's a projectile or anything else, that stuff stretches out of the way, then it closes back in on itself. I've talked about this many times with 5.56 and even 9mm wounds, and I have seen 30 cal wounds and even larger wounds. A lot of times with these smaller caliber wounds, even up to 30 cal, it's hard to see a entrance wound at all, especially with 5.56, 9mm. A lot of times you got to stretch the skin. There's techniques that we use when we're assessing casualties where we stretch the skin apart and we're looking for those less than obvious wound channels with an entrance wound. Here we see a fairly massive wound. What is very clear to me is that we had a round that impacted the upper edge of his body armor, and then that round deflected directly upward. So now what we're dealing with is not only a deformed projectile, but it's also now moving upward, which would make the wound larger, both because of its deformation and now its angle of entry, and it's also probably fragmented as well.
See, that kind of answers everything Big Slap Oink has to know.
So like it would mushroom the projectile and make it a larger wound as it goes up.
Yeah, it would
struck.
Yeah. A bullet that hits armor would be crushed. Yeah, it would.
Yeah, it fragments. Fragments.
Yeah,
that's exactly what we say. So the velocity has already been taken onto the armor, but because it has momentum and it's fragmented, it shoots up, and that fragment hits him in the neck. Hence, why his whole neck didn't explode open. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but basically, if a bullet hits armor, you probably can't do any ballistic tests on it because it'll be
depends what
crushed.
shrapnel you just pick up, really. But yeah, it makes it a bit more difficult.
Yeah, usually, yeah.
And anyway, we're going to be looking at the a person who does balming, and she's going to explain to us why Charlie Kirk's hands looks exactly like that, because she says it's normal. And the fact that he looked so puffy was because he had an autopsy, which, again, people claimed he didn't have an autopsy. So,
well, specifically ballistic markings. That's what it meant, yeah. Anyway, keep going.
I think we already know the cause of death,
makes
so, the autopsy's not going to determine what killed him. We heard that.
Well, that's also an argument I've heard. Like, why wasn't there an autopsy? Well, do we need one? Killed by
the thing is,
yeah, the rules do.
It still have to do an autopsy anyway, even with a bullet wound, because they have to see if there was any underlying issues as well. You know what I mean? So,
well, I suppose you could do it later. Do the autopsy later.
No, they do.
Yeah,
they do it when they're at the morgue.
I see. Okay.
A lot of sense to me because there is a side view of this footage. Originally I thought that round went
see how it bounced up like that?
Yeah.
Look at this
A lot
again.
of sense to me because there is a side view of this footage. Originally I thought that round.
See, that's not normal. If it was just shot in the neck, it wouldn't do that.
went directly.
And if he had no armor on, with a 306, it would have just gone straight through him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wouldn't bounce up into his neck.
Into his neck, and we would see some sort of exit wound on the back. I never saw that exit wound, and I think it's because basically we had that round hit deflect directly upward and up into his cranial cavity. And I'm fairly certain that that projectile is still inside of his body. I also, just watching this and his reaction and the way that he seized, and I know there was a lot of blood and things after this. I think Charlie was dead the moment right at impact. I don't think he even knew what hit him. Regardless of all the blood loss, all of those things. And I know later on.
You see, that though contradicts what the reports are saying. He was in the ICU in critical condition. You know what I mean? Because if it was dead on impact, they wouldn't have, picked him up and stuck him in a van to try and get him to the hospital and then say he was in critical condition in ICU. So that I don't really agree with him, though. Yes, Greg, what are you trying to say? NASA actors.
Oh, you want? Am I in there?
No.
Can you guys hear me or what?
Yeah,
we can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, I was in the chat. Okay, you have NASA has people on the supposedly on the ISS actors.
Mm-hmm.
It's all over, and they picked him up in his chair and they run off. That dude knows. That bullet was going so fast. If it streams up, it's going to blow a bigger hole, and it's going to. Yeah.
Did you just listen to what I just told you?
Because I'm going. Look, wait. Rifle, and I'm gonna take some 200-yard shots. I guess I'll shoot something even more solid like a meat.
Okay.
What kind of damage
plating in front of it.
did it do? Yeah, I got the wrong round. What's that?
Put some armor plate in front of it and see what happens.
Why did you? Won't you fund me the money to get to Armour?
That's the thing.
You want me to do something I can't afford to take my rifle, go out there and sit something? Hold on. I can take and afford to take my rifle up the road and carry something metal and do the hole that's going to put out the back of it.
I'm trying to make a point to you.
Solid metal. And see, now look, hold on a minute.
You need to reconstruct the entire thing.
Yeah. If you want to actually prove it to be false, or what you say, you need to prove it using the armor plate.
Okay. No. Okay, well.
Yeah.
Do a GoFundMe. Do a GoFundMe for the armor plate and send me the armor plate.
I don't need to.
No, you're the one telling me. No. Wait. I'm telling you what I'm going to do. You're telling me to. Hold on. You're telling me to do it your way. If you want me to do it your way, you're going to pay for it.
Okay, let me explain to you how it works. Okay, the bullet hits. The bullet hits. There's the last warning, Greg. Otherwise, I'm going to have to kick you. The bullet hits armor plate, ricochets into his neck. So, in other words, if you want to recreate that, you need to get an armor plate to ricochet the bullet so it can be fragmented to go into the piece of meat, and then you see the outcome. Do you understand this? And you have to use the same bullet, same gun.
Which one are you? Go ahead. Finish, please.
Which one of you what?
Which one of you want to be the test mule? If you want me to do it your way, I'm telling you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take
the one who wants to do it, Greg.
My rifle. Hold on. Can I finish talking? You just sat there and told me how you wanted me.
You've done nothing but talk.
Me to do your. Hold on a minute. Hey, can you point across? Now, look. You sat there and explained how you wanted me to do it. I'm just going to take a metal 200 freaking yards away, and I'm going to show you the hole it puts in front of it.
I already know what hole it
out
makes.
The back of it.
What does it prove? What does it prove?
I can finish. You asked me a question. What is it going to prove? Okay, you're wanting me to shoot a piece of armor and have the bullet ricochet and enter a test dummy. Okay, what I'm going to prove is I'm going to take my rifle, shoot into a piece of metal, through it, and out the other side. What that proves, and I'm going to blow a hole out the back of a piece of metal. We're talking about human flesh. Now, if it enters the human neck, it's coming out the human skull. Like if it enters into a piece of metal and goes out the piece of metal, I think is a little bit stronger than skin and bone, don't you think? This dude's sitting here he just denied the ballistics of a bullet. Now, if it goes in the front, now if it penetrates metal, goes through and exits metal, this is human skin. Just like it exits a piece of metal.
Okay, Greg. Let me do this
okay,
way.
no.
Have you ever shot? Let's say, have you ever shot at armor plating before?
No, I can't.
Okay.
Now,
do you know that? Hold on a minute. Keep quiet. Now, do you know if you have armor plate and it sits at an angle, okay, it gives a different effect than the armor plate at a straight 90-degree angle. Okay, that is why when he shot the round at the angle it was and at the angle it was sitting on his chest, it shot and ricocheted up. When it ricocheted up, that impact had already been taking most of the velocity on that armor plate. And it fragmented. That bullet became shrapnel, you could say. And it came and went into his neck and lodged his neck, okay? The reason it didn't blow up his head and go out was because the velocity was already taken by the armor plate, and because it was now shrapnel, it wasn't a full bullet. Sorry to break it to you, but this is how physics works in real life.
No. You can't do it, dude. Have you ever shot a gun, Flatzoid?
Yes.
What kind of gun have you shot? What kind of gun do you own? What kind of gun do you own?
I don't own a gun right now because it's too difficult to own a gun. But I started.
What kind of gun have you shot? What kind of gun have you shot?
R4.
An R4
Browning.
What caliber? What caliber?
306, 702s. Okay, but anyway, like I'm saying.
All right.
No.
What I'm saying. Let me talk now. Dude, I was going to ask him. I was asking.
Okay, I kicked him. This guy's too rude. Go ahead, Vicky.
God gave him one mouth and 2 ears. He doesn't even listen with one ear. You start talking and he interrupts you. And do you know what? Do a GoFundMe for his experiment. Like, who
That's
even
false
is it?
anyway.
No,
He's
but come on and
non-experimental.
demand everyone pay for him to do something. Do it yourself. We don't like you.
Vic, he's only $200 for body armor. You can get that for that much.
Yeah, but that's not the point, though, Roger.
There are too many variables.
The point is he's going against this. He's saying that it's wrong. So if you want to prove it wrong, then he has to replicate what was going on. To replicate it, he's going to have to take body armor at an angle, and he's going to make sure he's 200 yards away. He has to use the same ammunition, the same type of gun acclaimed, and the same weather.
Yeah.
Okay? He doesn't want to do any of that. He just wants to take his rifle with different ammunition and a different type of rifle and just shoot it at a piece of meat.
Yeah. And he wants to call interruption when he's the one doing the interrupting. He's like, hold on a minute. He's the one doing the talking.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks crazy. He's entitled. He thinks that he can say whatever, as soon as he comes on, he thinks it's his stream. Greg, there's a reason none of us watch your streams. It's because none of us like you. There is nothing nice about you.
Riley Studios, I'm not acting like it was a real event. It literally did take place People literally saw it take place. A guy literally died. It's time people stop acting like it's a false flag for no reason and actually understand a real person died. Have some humility. Okay? Have some sympathy for a person that actually died. Have sympathy for the people who witnessed the death.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'm leaving my judgment till everything's out. That's what I'm doing personally.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
Hello.
even if
Hey.
it's a false,
Hi,
even if
guys.
it is a false,
Hello.
Hey, Luke.
Hello.
Even if it is a false flag, it doesn't mean the false flag didn't attribute to a real death. Anyway, go ahead, Luke.
Exactly. It doesn't. There's no way you can say it definitely is either way. There's no way we
Hold
can
on, I
confirm it either
thought
way.
this was Fox News last night.
Hey Vicky, how you doing? How you doing? Hey Vicky, don't worry. PJ and Flats, I won't be here long. I just want to come and.
I'm going because I've got nothing to say to you.
Okay, see ya. Bye.
Wait, don't be so cheeky, Luke.
Well, hey, I didn't get. I said I'm not giving any attitude.
Yeah,
I'm just.
I see ya. Bye bye. Just like you
who started it? Who started it, PJ?
Like you were trying to get Sov's attention. Oh, Sov, it's like CNN, Fox News in here. What a suck-up sycophant prick.
I won't be
Remember,
here long.
Luke, last night you
Hey,
said something very
PJ.
interesting.
Hey, PJ.
Goodbye, Luke.
Before,
I don't care what you've got to say.
Luke, remember last night you said something very interesting.
PJ, why don't you be quiet and let me talk to Keith?
Well, hey, listen, I've hardly spoke. I'll speak when I want to speak.
Okay.
Okay.
Right now, say your thing, Luke. Say your thing.
I will say my thing.
I want to ask Luke a question, though.
First of all, because it's come up, because PJ raised it, the Fox News comment was before Sov came on.
You said it to Sov as well. You tried to get Sov's attention and say it to Sov.
No, but I raised it.
That's when I banned you.
You banned me on your channel. I'm not talking about your channel. I know you got
triggered. I banned you
PJ.
last night on Flats' channel.
Can I talk to Keith?
Okay, so what was your reasoning behind that comment, Luke?
Okay, so your this is what happened. So we'll just go from a chronological order. Okay, so the comment was, Keith, I don't see any difference between your stream and Fox News. It's just a normie's right-wing news source. Now, it should have had a LOL. Okay, that's tongue in cheek. Okay, I obviously don't see you as Fox News. Okay, you and PJ and other people clearly got triggered by that. Right, so the reasoning is that you are.
I got triggered.
Keith, can I talk to one person at a time?
No, you made an accusation there. I got triggered when you tried to get Sov's attention to say it as well. That's when I got triggered, because then you're trying to take the piss. So don't say you weren't, Luke.
Okay, but I just want to say I didn't get triggered by it. I did find it very perplexing that you said it, though, and my remark was actually very, very great, because my remark was simply, you don't like that I support Israel, hence why you probably think that. And that's,
okay, so that's got nothing to do with the comment. That's got nothing to do with the comment. All right, so you did say that. So he doesn't like me because I support God's chosen people, is what you said.
No, I never said that.
Yes, you did. Like I've got it loaded up. Shall we watch it? Shall we watch it? I've got it loaded up. We can watch it right now. You said he doesn't like me because I support God's chosen people, is what you said. Can I share my screen? I'll play it right now.
Do you like that I support Israel, God's chosen people?
Of course I don't, but that doesn't mean I hate you.
There we go. So what's wrong with my comment then?
Oh, okay, so you did say the comment. You just said you didn't say the comment.
I didn't mean it in that way. You're trying to make it sound.
Hate. I can hate a philosophy. I can hate a concept, but I don't hate you, my friend. Okay,
yeah, and I don't hate you, and you know that.
I don't like Zionism. I don't like the state of Israel. But I have Israeli friends. I have Jewish friends. It's not about a person. It's not about you. I can dislike a concept. That doesn't mean it's
okay. So why call them things like?
Hang on, PJ. Can I just chat to Keith about this?
Okay, but I want to ask a question though.
Hang on. I'm just dealing with one person at a time, please. One person at a time.
Let him finish.
So we've gone from. Okay. So he doesn't like me because I support God's chosen people. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't like it because of what the Bible says.
Mm-hmm.
Now, come on, mate.
That's what the Bible says. I can't help you don't like it.
No. You separate. You see, he doesn't like what the Bible says.
It's not
That's
separate.
A
It's
sweeping
together.
statement. Huh?
It's not separate. It's together. It's literally against Israel.
Okay, let me go through the rest of it. Okay, the fact you have hatred to quotes about the scripture.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I've been getting a lot of hate for quoting scripture.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't talking about scripture at the time. We're talking about the Charlie Kirk thing, but all I am saying, right, is that you are taking the mainstream narrative, which is it's either, the right side of things. Yeah, he was killed, whatever, right? The mainstream thing is, yes, he died. Okay. That's the mainstream narrative. He was killed. And sorry if I agree with Sov, but I have questions about that. I doubt it. I'm skeptical about the mainstream narrative. That doesn't mean we're not talking about like Israel and the Bible.
Okay.
Why did you bring that into it?
Can I ask?
Because Todd brought it up.
Can I ask the question? If there's no hate towards Jews, why define them by a feature on their face or something they wear? Why call them that? I don't see the point. If you're just about not liking theology, because I don't like the theology, obviously not. You know what I mean? I'm for Christ. You've got to be saved through Christ. You've got to accept Christ. They don't.
Right.
But I'm not against Jewish people having the place at Israel. So why define them by a feature?
Who defined them by a feature? What are you talking about?
I've heard you say it before. Small hats.
You've heard me say it about their feature. Me.
Small hats.
Give me an example.
Small hat, crooked noses and small hats.
Hey, I know. I'm not Sov.
I never said you were Sov.
Keith was going me. Keith was calling me hateful about. He's calling me hateful or referring to me as hateful because of stuff in the Bible.
Okay.
What's that got to do with
you
people's
agreed
features,
with what
PJ?
my comment. You agreed with what my comment said.
Which comment?
You told me
You
you
had
do
a lot of
not
comments.
like this. You do not like Israel.
I don't like the state of Israel as a government. The people, it's different to the people who live there.
So what if they were a kingdom of Israel?
What about the 20% of people who live in Israel are Muslims? That's got nothing.
You didn't answer me. What if it was the kingdom of
Christians who live
Israel?
there. Sorry?
What if it was the kingdom of Israel? Would you still feel the same?
The kingdom of Israel?
Yeah.
Hey, mate. I just wanted to come in and defend what I was saying. I made a Fox News joke.
Simple question, man.
I've made a Fox News joke, okay? And you've come in here saying, he hates me because of this. He doesn't like the Bible.
It's a true statement. I stick with what my statement is. You have a hatred towards my how can I say that statement you made?
You said I have a hatred towards you. I don't hate you, my friend.
Okay.
I don't hate you.
Okay, well, I'm glad you don't hate me.
I hate some concepts and philosophies that you support.
But I'm going to stick with that was not a joke. It was a literal snip at taking at me because you see me as unreliable like Fox News.
No.
It's not a joke. No. And what's the reason for that? Because ever since I said I stick up for what the Bible says and I represent defending Israel.
That's a different topic. I disagree with on the Israel topic, but we were talking about Charlie Kirk, and you're supporting the mainstream. Israel. You're supporting the mainstream narrative. It wasn't about Israel stance.
Charlie Kirk supported Israel.
He wasn't towards the end, and I didn't know that.
No, even
I only found that out recently. Sov brought it up, but I didn't know. I agree with you. I thought he was pro-Israel. I thought he was.
He's always been pro-Israel till his death.
No, but didn't he start? He did start criticizing them towards the end, right?
Criticizing doesn't mean he doesn't support Israel.
Okay, well, he was critical.
Same as us. We criticize a lot of things from Israel, like the government and what they do. Doesn't mean we don't support Israel.
Okay, so anyway, I think I have.
My question to you is, why don't you support Israel, though?
Israel as a country, as like a government. I'm from Australia. I don't support the Australian government.
No, I didn't say government. I said, why don't you support Israel?
I don't. I want to. I think we've dealt with what happened last night. Now, PJ, would you wanted to say something?
Why are you running away from this? Come on.
This is a 2-hour debate. I'm happy to have it with you another time.
No, it's not a debate.
I
I'm
want to talk
asking
about
a
with what
simple
happened last
question,
night.
man. This is the problem. Wait, this is the problem I have with you guys that are anti-Semitic. I ask you straight.
Oh, here we go.
When you run,
okay.
Listen,
okay, so because I disagree with your argument. I disagree with your arguments.
I'm finished. Can I finish my statement? Can I finish my statement?
Oh, I'm anti-Semitic. What does that mean?
Can I finish my statement, Luke? Can I finish my statement?
Anti-Semitic.
This is the problem I have with you anti-Semitic folk. Okay? When you get challenged on your belief of not supporting Israel, you asked very simple question to answer, but you will refuse to answer it. Instead, you will ask another question or decide to run away. And that's all I've ever had from anybody who's anti-Semitic, Sov included.
Okay. Okay, so anti-Semitic, you mean I don't support Israel? Does that mean I'm anti-Semitic? I mean Israel,
exactly
the government.
Yes. That's what anti-Semitic is.
Oh, okay. Do you agree with that, PJ, by the way?
Sorry, what?
Do you think I'm anti-Semitic because I don't agree or support the nation-state of Israel?
Listen, I don't know about the terminology anti-Semitic, but I see
that's
that you're hating a population of people.
Who am I? No, I was talking about the government, the nation. I'm not hating the people. I'm talking about the government, the nation.
Do you have a prejudice against Israel?
I'm not saying anything about anti-Semitism because the terminology.
I don't know why he's running to do that.
Agree with the terminology.
Because I've been on a stream with PJ before, okay, and it was talked about how the go-to, if you criticize Israel, you're referred to as anti-Semitic.
No, if you have prejudice, prejudice against them, do you have prejudice against Israel?
Prejudice against the country or the people who live there?
Israel,
like the country, as in the. I've got a prejudice against their government and the people who set them up, the Zionists. I have an issue with Zionism. Does that make me an anti-Semite?
Do you know what Zionism is?
Zionism, here we go. So Zionism is not Israel. Okay, it's not Israel of the Bible. Zionism is the concept and the idea to set up a state for the Jewish people, and it's been going on for over 100 years.
So self-determination. It's the right to have self-determination, correct? That's Zionism.
Zionism is about having a Jewish state for themselves.
Yes, the right to have self-determination. Would you agree that as an Australian, what do you mean by that? Would you agree as an Australian you would have the right to have an Australian the right to have an Australian country?
Yeah, well, we do have.
That's Zionism. It's just Zionism is based on the Zionism is just based on the Israeli people.
Jewish people, okay, have come from all over the world, and they come from all different parts of the world, and they have been planning for a Jewish state. It wasn't necessarily in the Middle East. It was going to be in Australia at one stage. It was going to be in South America. It ended up being in the area that Palestine is in, and that's where Israel is now. So,
okay, I'm going to correct you first of all. Israel has always been in the land of Israel where it is now. The kingdom of Israel has always been established there. There has never been a Palestine. Okay? What happened is after the whole Holocaust thing, they were looking looking for a place to call their home. Okay? And
yes, that's true. I agree with that.
Okay. So they ended up going to their motherland, which is Jerusalem.
Yep. But they were looking at other areas before that.
They were looking at other lands because it was occupied at that time, correct?
Oh, okay. All right. So
I agree with Luke to a degree that when if you just say criticize a certain Jew just for something minor, it gets called anti-Semitic. I do agree with things like that.
Yeah, but that's why I say prejudice. That's why I specifically go and say, are you prejudiced towards Israel as a whole? So I don't care about the government of Israel.
It's the how and why that make you anti-Semitism. anti. It's not that not supporting Israel makes you anti-Semitism. It's not that. It's the how and why.
Yeah, the intent behind it.
Yeah.
Can I add
Because the
something,
thing
guys?
is,
Right?
unfortunately, what I've been seeing, especially in the flat Earth community, people have a hatred towards Jews just because Jews, and their argument is always, "Oh, the Talmud tells them this, the Talmud tells them that." Okay, again, just like Luke said earlier, Israel is not just Jewish. There's 2 million Palestinians, Arabs, Muslims, atheists, Christians, Jews. They all are Israelis. They all live in the state of Israel. Okay? They're all together.
Hey,
Okay?
Plaz, can I say something right quick? I'm sorry, my voice.
Go ahead.
The problem is it's a very politically charged arena, and groups like the ADL and the Southern Poverty Center actually blanket people with that statement and take them to court and try to persecute them because they would say anti-Semitic. They use these terms all the time, and it villainizes people. That's not exactly, and these people are not necessarily anti-Semitic.
I agree with that.
This is where the problem lies, and they use it. They weaponize it.
No, I do agree with that.
Yeah.
But there
Keith,
you also can't hide
earlier-
behind anti-Semitism as saying, well, you're just calling everybody anti-Semitic where there is prejudice against them or hate towards them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when you may not have meant it, but when you say this is what the problem is with you anti-Semitic folk, right? So you implied that because I was, and this is not with the conversation, but I've commented on something in the past where I disagree with you on Zionism or the nation state of Israel, and that you're referring to a group of people as being anti-Semitic. So I took umbrage with that. That's like, come on, like.
Okay,
I don't have
so you do
a problem
support
with
Israel.
individual people. I do support what?
So you do support Israel, the Israeli people.
Israeli people individually?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll take them on a case by case basis, like I would with any South Africans or any British people or any Australians. But as for their country, I don't support Israel.
But you see, that's what I'm saying.
But that's like saying, do I support the USA as a government? Do I support the Australian government? No, I don't.
I'm just talking I'm talking about a right to exist.
A right to exist.
In a
okay,
place
that's a
of
loaded
their own.
question.
As
But
a place
like
of their own.
of men and women's right to exist, of course. Okay, so yes, I would support men and women's right to exist. Of course, I would.
Yes, exactly. So we're on the same page. Israel has the right
Doesn't
to
mean
have.
not going to go clip this and go, see, Luke supports Israel.
No, I'm just saying. So Israel has the right to self-determination. Correct? They have a right to be able to say they call their home Israel. It's their country.
They have now that they're there, they have a right to stay in their homes and live and be as free as you can in their government system. I'll agree to that.
That's Zionism. Well done. So you do agree with Zionism?
Oh, go on, clip
Zionism.
that.
That's literally
Zionism.
Zionism.
That's Zionism. No, it's not. It's not.
It is. It's literally Zionism.
Because I don't want people. I don't want people to be taken from their homes. That there might be second generation people. So I'm a Zionist. No, that's not Zionism.
You just agreed with me what Zionism was. I asked you this when you said yes. This is what you agree. That's Zionism. That's the problem I have with the flat Earth community. You guys hear the word Zionism. You don't even know what it means. But you want to have. But listen,
this is the problem.
The people want to be anti-Zionist. Sorry, Luke. People want to be anti-Zionist. People want to be anti-Zionist because they have ignorance to what Zionism really is. That's my whole point I'm making here. Okay, I am a Zionist because I believe they are allowed to live in the land of Israel where they are born. Okay, I believe you can live in Australia because you were born in Australia. Great. That is Zionism. It's just self-determination.
So
that's
Zionism.
All.
So it's any country. So if I believe that Australia or Britain has a right to determination and to just go about their business. That's Zionism. So it doesn't have to be about
but that
Israel.
coin Zionism was only coined by Israel. Do you understand?
Okay. Yeah, I get that. But like, why don't we tee up because it's like 2:30 here, and I'm trying to keep my wits about me, but I need some shut eye. So why don't we set up a proper, given an hour?
I love that, man. Yeah, we can definitely. And I mean, I have all the respect for you, Luke. Like I say, you know me. I have all the respect for you. I love you. I got nothing against you, man. I just think people are very ignorant to what actually they're trying to fight against.
Yeah. Hey, Keith, can I add one more thing to that with the whole the way they weaponize it? They do that with politics and with the UN too. When they deal with a country, when Israel does, they'll actually play that same thing. Like, oh, you don't want to deal with us because we're Jewish or whatnot. And they go, you must be anti-Semitic. So they fall back on that with everything in all their policies. So they want preferential treatment. It seems like
it's like saying, yeah, you're a racist if you don't agree with something. It's like that's their trump card. Racist, anti-Semitic.
Yeah. I agree.
People can play victim card.
I did agree with you on that it gets called out too easily. Absolutely, it does. Absolutely, it does.
People can use it as a victim card. So I agree with you on that.
Absolutely.
I was just trying to make a point. What
I've said my piece.
Is. Cool.
Okay, I'll let you get back to
I
it,
appreciate
guys.
you, man.
Have a good one.
Okay.
All right, no worries.
But you are unbanned, by the way, Luke. So don't worry, man.
And it was me done it. It was me done it. Just so you know,
I'm not banned.
Yeah.
No, you are, but you're not now, obviously. In Flatsies, you are a man, but I will unban you. I just don't want any talk like that. You know what I mean?
Anyway, let's get back on topic, guys.
Okay. Well, we didn't really address that.
I was pissed off, dude.
Like,
I was pissed off.
At the end of the day, let's address it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The mainstream narrative, which is 99% of the population, so it's not like it's a fringe thing, is that it's a tragic thing. Charlie Kirk shot and killed, assassination, and I doubt that. I have questions about that. So, and I thought there's plenty of questions to be asked about that. Very skeptical about it, I am, because my default situation when anything comes out in the media, especially a big event, I just doubt the official story. So that, like, you guys are you're pushing the official story. So, and I understand why you would, because that would be the obvious default decision. So that's why the Fox News, but not PJ. It's not CNN.
I still know. I don't know the names. I don't know the names of them because I don't take any note of them. You know what I mean?
Luke, well, you were saying, he said CNN.
Well,
it was
I know.
I
got that right. Someone else corrected me as well. I know I got that wrong. Sorry, I know I got that wrong. But you know, I don't know that.
All I would say, PJ, all I would say is that. So when Flatsoid was saying everything he was saying about me, there was no reaction to me saying the Fox News comment. He was reading it out, and there's no reaction to what Keith was saying about me. And so, did someone else have to tell you that I said that in the chat?
No.
Or like you didn't react at the time? I'm just curious about that.
I told you. It's when you tried to get hold of Sov and say it. I was pissed off the first time I seen it, but obviously I'm not going to just start banning people. But when you try to get Sov's, when I thought you'd already insulted Flats, and then you tried to get Sov's attention to do it again, it just seemed to me like you're taking the piss. Simple as that. And I still think that. I still think that's what you were trying to do.
Luke.
I still think that, bro. I mean, just because I still think that, it doesn't mean to say I can't still love you and you're not still my brother. You know what I mean? But I still think you were trying to do that.
It's not that you doubt the. Well, I wouldn't say it's what it's like what they say about the event that you should doubt the mainstream the news or media, not the event itself.
Luca, 1 second.
That's what they say.
Luca, buddy, 1 second. my issue is that when it came up, PJ, is that he doesn't. When Keith was saying he doesn't like what it says in the Bible, the fact that you have hatred about some quotes in the scripture, that's and you didn't come to bat for me. Like, you know me, I'm all about scripture. We might disagree on some stuff, so maybe that's why I brought it up later, because you didn't like say, no, Luke is pretty solid with the scripture. I'll have to say, Keith, that
but you've got to remember, I don't hear everything. Sometimes I'm paying attention to chat. Sometimes I've heard Flats asking me, "What do you think of that?" I'm like, "Oh, sorry, Flats, I haven't got a clue what you just said." Sometimes I don't hear everything. I don't hear absolutely everything. So I mean,
we'll set up.
General, but obviously, it's sometimes when if you're pissed off as well, you just don't think of things like that, But I can't remember absolutely everything he said, to be honest, to you when it was brought up.
Yeah,
I really can't.
Can I say something to Luca right quick? The reason you don't listen to the media because they're putting a spin on a story. The story itself could be a number of different things. The media is going to portray it the way they want you to see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
It's Son of God. Hey, Son of God.
And by the way, one quick, I'm about to jump off, Keith. Sorry, mate. There's one thing. Roger, by the way, when Keith was about to start his launch, you jumped in and you said he just wants to ask some questions. He just has questions. So I do thank you for, I think you knew where I was coming from. So thanks, Roger. But all the best, guys.
You too, man.
God bless.
Yeah, we'll have that discussion sometime, man.
We will.
Blessings,
for sure.
man.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye. Son of God.
See you, Luca.
See you, Luke.
Later, bro.
Bye, mate.
Hey, Son of God, how's it going?
Hey, good. How you doing?
Good. What are your thoughts?
I'm actually in Utah, Salt Lake area, probably a couple miles from there. I used to be a big conspiracy theorist, I guess you can say, and probably would have jumped on some of these things that some of these guys are. That's IPS, King Nico, people like that. But I have no doubt. I mean, there's like 1,000 people surrounding him, and it's really, really sad situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's sad.
Go ahead.
And this is exactly why I'm feeling the need I have to address it, from the other side, because unfortunately the community has taken it. A lot of them have taken it to just see conspiracies where there isn't. You know what I mean? Even if there is false flags and stuff, it doesn't mean a person didn't die. It was a live event.
Right.
He actually did die, and I think it's a bit sick to say he never died because they claim it's fake. You know what I mean?
Right, Flats. I know he's never been president or anything, but did JFK get shot? Was Lee Harvey Oswald a patsy in your opinion?
Yeah, I don't think he shot him, but
there you go.
It doesn't mean he didn't die.
Exactly. Was that a psyop? Yes. Somebody still died.
I had a question, Flatzoid. I've been around for a long time, and I'm just wondering, was Flat Earth like your first quote unquote kind of conspiracy that you got into?
No, not actually. I was in 9/11 before that.
Okay.
I was with Project Bluebeam also for a long time, looking at that kind of thing. A few different things. But if I have to say my passion, that's why I don't really call Flat Earth a conspiracy theory. I think it attracts conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes people take it too far. Yeah. And that's the unfortunate truth. As much as I love the Flat Earthers in the community, there are unfortunately fakes in the Flat Earth community, and a lot of people are falling for those fakes. You understand? And they just become too gullible and just accepting every hogwash thing that comes out of it, unfortunately.
I think it's kind of culturally accepted that Flat Earth, most people, most normies, whatever you want to call them, most people in the world believe that the Earth is a sphere. And so culturally, I think it's accepted as a conspiracy theory. And really why I ask is because all throughout my journey, the JQ or the Jewish question has always come up. And I understand your kind of like your religious side to it, but I mean, it's like hearing you talk about it, like, oh, they were just like looking for a place to live or what. I mean, it's like not even an elementary understanding of what it is. And I mean, there's a huge difference between like backing up Jewish people, backing up the Israel government, backing up Christian Zionism. There's like, I mean, it's like baffling that you've been in the conspiracy theory kind of realm, I'll say, for as long as it sounds like you have been, and are like totally, it seems like to me, totally oblivious to this conversation. Because I mean, really, it's like I always watch conspiracy channels because it's funny, they always go after each other. And so, like, this is one thing that you're going to have 100,000 people go against you on because they've already, like, years and years ago made up their mind about Israel and Jews. So it's
But you
like
see, that's what's
kind
different
of
with
what
me.
the Bible says.
Yeah, but you see, that's different with me though. I'm not a person that just makes up my mind straight. I would like to think I look at things as much as possible, and I've changed my mind with many things a lot of the time. But there are things I'm very certain on. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I'm not here to be a people pleaser. I care what God thinks. And if I'm going to piss people off and tell them what it is, it's just how it is. I'm, like I said, I obviously have fallen for conspiracies before as well. I mean, it's just how it happens. People are human. But you move on. And I'm unfortunately seeing this as like a kind of sickness that's entrapped the flat earth community. Like I was saying, they make up their mind and they just follow blindly. Instead of just looking at all the evidence as neutral, they've made a bias and then they just accept it. And it's the sad truth. I mean, it's unfortunate. I'm not saying it's everybody, but it is a large majority of flat earthers in the community that do this. It's just unfortunate how it is.
Could you be wrong about flat earth? I mean, there's been a lot of people since the final experiment, even in, you know, maybe their shills or whatever, even though Jaron was around for 10 years or whatever. I guess he was shilling for 10 years, but I mean, could you be wrong about the whole flat earth belief?
No, that I'm saying, that's a 100% believe the earth is flat.
Are you Tim?
Put this way, I know it's flat.
Are you Timmy?
Yeah.
Are you Timmy? You're Timmy?
Yeah.
I thought so. Yeah, this is Timmy Clown over here. Yeah.
Yeah, I got no issue with you, Tim Osmond.
I'm being respectful. I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
It's all right. I'm not trying to disrespect you. No, I just wanted.
No, just call me a clown, bro.
Oh God, no! You've never been called a clown before.
But I mean, look at least at me having a respectful discussion. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Even though
and
we
really,
have
like,
our disagreements.
Yeah, you know, this whole thing, especially with, I didn't really listen to him much. I guess you could consider me a little bit more conservative as opposed to like the liberal side. I had never voted or anything, but you know, I was happy to see that Trump got in compared to, you know, the alternative, I guess you could say. But this one did hit me pretty hard. And like I said, I didn't really listen to him, but there's something to see, you know, to see a you know, a father of young children. His wife was there, a religious man. Like, I'm not religious myself. I wish I was. I just never really found it myself. But to see that, there's just something a little bit like really off-putting, and it put me in a funk for probably 2-3 days, just to see that. And you know, I don't know, you're always going to have your auto hoaxers like IPS and stuff, Infinite Plane Society, but it's just they're looking like abductively abductive reasoning, trying to find things that, just like the dude that came on, if you shoot, it would blow up the back of his head, or all this stuff. Like, they're looking for something to be
I used to
wrong.
do the same myself sometimes. I used to be a little bit biased towards it and always look for the crappy side of things. You know what I mean? The things that could hoax. Then
Me too.
become more objective. You need to be more objective. So I don't just call, yes, I believe I see dodginess behind this. I see a psyop behind it, but I still see a man died, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's my point as well. Yeah, we can see there's some fakeness towards what's going on. There's a lot of red flags, but that doesn't mean the guy didn't die. It doesn't mean thousands of people saw him die. It doesn't mean his wife is now a widow and 2 small children are left behind with it. You know what I mean? I just wish people have sympathy and a heart for a guy that literally died, instead of trying to make it seem like the guy's not dead because they have such a bias towards saying it's fake, that they have no sympathy for the guy, have no sympathy for his loved ones. You know what I mean? And to me, that's wrong.
Yeah, it's cruel. And really, like, it's apropos for where you are. Like, I was around with the Sandy book incident, the book that was Sandy, and I was all on board with everything. The Boston firecracker thing that happened, all that kind of stuff. And since Flat Earth, late 2014, early 2015, that actually woke me up into my own bias, because I almost fell for it for a couple weeks. And that really showed me, once I got out of it, how gullible I personally, my opinion, I was. And that really woke me up to kind of, try to eliminate that bias. Like, when I ask you, could you be wrong? And you said no. Like, I 100% believe that to be the case. Well, yeah, that you do 100% believe that, and I don't doubt that for a second. But could you be wrong was the question, not if you 100%
Yeah, but you
believe
see,
it.
the reason why I say I now couldn't be wrong, because I know God created the earth, and I know, according to Scripture, how God created the earth. That's why I know I cannot be wrong. It'd be a different story if the Bible didn't preach it. You understand? Then I could say, okay, yeah, I could be wrong. But because I know I put my trust in God and now He created the earth, I would 100% have no doubt that the earth is flat.
Yeah, but like all of the scripture, it seems like if you go to this priest, you go to that priest, you're going to get kind of a different interpretation. So, like, I bought Robert St. Genesis' book right when it came out, Flat Earth, Flat Wrong. And he goes through all the Bible verses that people have been saying for many years, and he's got a different interpretation. Most Christians on earth have a different interpretation.
And
They
I used
don't
to be one of them.
interpret.
I used to be one of them. I was being Christian most of my life, and I read the Bible as without really think of it as other than a globe, because that's how I read it at the time. But the thing is, if you read from Genesis, it doesn't fit the heliocentric model at all. None of the scriptures in the whole Bible doesn't fit the globe. Even Robert St. Genesis' interpretations don't actually fit the scripture. We've actually gone through some of these things before. So the problem with the globe is they have to add in things that aren't there. We don't have to add in anything when you read, okay, God created the sun and moon on the 4th day. Where the heliocentric model, you need the sun and moon to be there the first day for that to exist. You need the sun to happen before the earth is created, according to the heliocentric belief. You understand? So it doesn't fit with the Bible. When God tells in Joshua 10, when Joshua tells the sun and moon to stop, that's exactly what it means. If you read it straight from what the text says, it's saying He told the sun and the moon to stop in the sky so they can finish their battle in Ajalon. Now, that fits exactly with what the flat earth is. It doesn't fit at all with the globe. Now, the globe has to interpret that and saying, well, it was just towards their understanding that the sun and moon stopped. It was actually the earth that stopped. You understand?
I think,
or they would just have to say, no, it's allegorical. It's not an actual event.
if you're going on and you're kind of, it's like a misnomer when you're saying the heliocentric model versus flat Earth, because
Mhm.
I think even Robertson Jenis is going to be, I'm pretty sure he's like one of the major geocentrists, which is going to be the globe Earth. So it's globe versus flat. The whole model is a different kind of question, because if you really interpreted that, God created whatever this time, it still could be a sphere Earth with him stopping the moon and everything still fitting, and really like our observations and being able to map it, geocentric or heliocentric, really does point to a globe Earth. Everything matches. Nothing matches on the flat Earth except I can see too far. And then, even my Salt Lake City observations, I never got
I knew
any
you were bringing that up.
explanation for it.
Yeah,
Well, I'm just
bring it up,
saying.
bring it over on my show, Timmy, and I'll look at your observations. I've done this many a times. We'll walk you through it.
I've been done
come
with
over.
this conversation. It's been basically 6 years almost to the day. I haven't
Well,
even been around.
Well,
Like, I'm
I know.
done.
Wait.
People will believe what they want to believe.
Mm-hmm. But Timmy, you're always welcome to come present your stuff on there. We have what we call Flat Earth Fridays. So it'd be great to have you on Friday, maybe if you want to come present it.
Cool.
Just see what people
Yeah,
say.
I'm
you know
going
what I
to a
mean?
wedding here in
Oh, okay. Well,
actually
next week then.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely will if we keep this temperature where it's like, hey, I believe this. Hey, just like Charlie Kirk, really.
Yeah.
We can have different ideas and we can sit down as gentlemen and talk about them. I believe this, you believe that. Okay, great. And I'll match the tone. I've come on here before, and I've come on to Nathan's, and this is nothing like Nathan's, obviously, but come on to different places where you want to be in that tone. Well, I can match you times 10 too. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah, we
that
can
would
show
be
some
cool.
respect. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely chat with you.
Awesome. It'd be great
And
having you.
man, the whole getting back to like Zionism and stuff. There's a interpretation that Christians should be Zionists, and I think Tucker and Ted Cruz. Did you ever watch that conversation?
Wow, yeah, that was quite a thing.
Yeah, and Tucker was kind of grandstanding a little bit and whatever, but I think he had a point as far as Christians in America are taught to think this way about this, and it's kind of like my problem with it is that like they can do no wrong, so it's like they could nuke Palestine tomorrow, and it would be like, well, they have a right to exist, and it's like at a certain point, it's been a couple years since that thing happened, October 7th, and it's at what point do we say, okay, well, this has gone too far, like the 20,000 civilians and the children that have died. I have a hard time bridging the gap between Christianity and killing civilians and children in the name of some other religion.
You have to also understand the thing that's happening in Gaza doesn't have to happen. It's just Hamas that does it, that refuses to, just give the hostages like we asked from the beginning. Hamas also just has to disband, but they refuse. Hamas makes sure that the civilians stay there so they can be martyred. But that's the unfortunate thing. What the people don't see is in the Islamic belief system, they indoctrinate to bring up that they want to be martyred for Islam because they believe they go to Jannah for this. So those 20,000 civilians that is just actually just numbers given by the PLO anyway, is them wanting to stand in there, because that's why you have Hamas in hospitals, you have them in churches, and you have them in schools and things, because that's where they want to be. They want to be in between the civilians, unfortunately, and Israel's forced to take action in those areas. You must also understand Israel also give the people warnings that they're going to attack there, so they give them warnings to flee from there. yet they choose not to flee from there, or Hamas most of the time threatens them not to get out of there. They keep them there. They use them as human shields so they can have propaganda against the people.
Truthfully, these are all talking points from the IDF, and I don't know one way or the other, but for sure, I listen to Pierce Morgan. I listen to all kinds of debates all over the place with IDF people, and I hear that all the time. But could you imagine for a moment that people came? Let's say we weren't the greatest American power or greatest world power tomorrow. Let's just say America. And even Britain or wherever you live had a little bit to do with 9/11 and let's just say the atrocities that we committed in the Middle East. If people came to us and started just bombing America and UK or wherever you live because of what our government did. So their government is Hamas. We supposedly vote these people in that, George Bush and whoever that got us into these wars. And are the civilians, the people like you and me, responsible for what our government has done to an nth degree, to just tens of thousands of people?
If I may, there's a big difference here between countries, that fight each other and with innocent victims falling, from that war. Here it's a totally different, situation. You have a terrorist army that is taking hostage its population in order to shoot other civilians. So they're using children and women and civilians as human shields, while they want to assassinate civilians. So all the casualties, all the civilian casualties, are only to be, only the Hamas is blamable about this, because this is what they do. This is a very different situation, and Hamas was not chosen by these people as a government. It was imposed to them. You understand? They took the power by force. They killed like 200 or 300 people, when they took over, and they financed by Iran. We know that. So it's a mafia, a terrorist mafia. It's like the it's the most is the worst situation you can live in. When you fight terrorism, is the worst. It's not like one terrorist. It's like an army with billions of dollars behind them, and countries behind them, that help them at a political level, at the military level, and so that it's not like fighters fighting like for liberating, a land, because in that case you fight the army, you just try to kill the soldiers, but they're aiming at like children and women. We just had a terrorist attack here, where they came into a bus stop.
On the bus, it was like a week ago.
Yeah, a bus stop, and they shoot people in point blank range. What kind of resistance is this? What kind of?
You know what's sad about that?
Kind of a war is that?
Then you get the Hamas people and Al Jazeera and all of them saying how proud they are that they did this. They were real heroes for Hamas.
But this is why the reaction was excellent. To just go and bomb the hell out of them wherever they are. We don't care where they are, in Qatar, in Russia, in China. We got to, kill the heads, just decapitate them, because it's so evil. It's so like, what they think is going to happen. Even if they kill like 100,000 civilians, do you think Israel is going to just like, go say, oh, okay, we just, give you the land? Nothing's going to happen. Won't move an inch.
Sounds like eye for an eye to me. And I believe that terrorism is kind of in the eye of the beholder. So if we were in the opposite position, let's say we were in Iraq in 2002 or whatever, and you see these guys that look like freaking space force coming in and starting to kill, maybe your dad and mom were bombed in a house. Like, couldn't you see that at a certain point your land's being taken over by these people? Can't you like be in that position?
Yes,
because like you're like, oh no, they do terroristic acts. Well, so are bombs though. Bombs killing innocent civilians is terrorism.
I tell you something. There are lots of countries all over the world through history that fought, against an invader, and that they fought for their, independence, and never ever you see people just killing baby and women and using baby and women as human shield, where they're assassinating babies and women, in the name of resistance. This is bullshit. This is an army of
I
terrorists.
hear IDF saying that, but there's never really been any evidence towards that. I do hear just like the 40 beheaded babies, which ended up being fake.
Yeah, I know you're going to doubt it, but as long as it's Israel saying something, you're going to say, we lie. That's we understand.
Well,
that.
was the 40 beheaded babies a real story or not?
No, I don't know how many babies they were beheaded, but we know that they beheaded one. At least I know one. They put in the oven and they ate at the table while the baby was in the oven, and while the father was like, dying from a gunshot in his belly. So we know those are facts. There are people that witness that.
Well, how do you know that? That seems like bearing false witness. I mean, we already have the 40
how do you
beheaded babies fake story.
How do you know it's not true? How do you know how can you judge?
I don't have to prove a negative. You just came up with a story that sounds like a horror story, like someone's
I live here. You don't live there.
Renovations.
Yeah, but you don't live here. You don't know people here. You don't.
If I lived there, would I have seen that? Did you see it? I don't know.
You don't have to see, but when you hear people that saw that, it's true. When you see witnesses, I saw that. I don't have any reason to lie. Like doctors and people that policemen.
I mean,
and
look at that woman.
It's true. It's not like a fake
Look at
news.
that woman.
That sounds like a dubious story.
Look at that woman.
Sorry.
Look at that woman who was taken with the two little small children. They went and strangled the two babies in front of them, and they all cheered for that.
Check it out. I mean? Check it out. Even in the when they hit the towers, the two towers, the twin towers, they were like celebrating and everything. So
the dancing Israelis?
No, the Arabs were.
The Israelis weren't there dancing. That got arrested, and there was a whole report on that.
Okay, so there was one guy that was arrested, an Israeli. Okay, so that's one.
Multiple
how many Arabs
Israelis.
were dancing? Like 3 million. Okay, that's 1 to 3 million. Okay, no problem.
I highly doubt that 3 million Arabs were dancing.
Yeah, but you don't. You have the right to doubt. I have no problem. I respect doubts, but then you have to check. You cannot just comfort yourself with your doubts because makes you feel good. You have to understand, and you have to dig in. You have to verify all this information. If you believe it's fake news, just check it out. You don't stay with your beliefs. You just I also believe things. I believe that they went to the moon, and then I checked. There are ways to check. There are ways to see if it's a government lie, or if it's not a lie, or if it's half a lie, or maybe it's exaggerated. There are ways to know that. When you talk to people,
do you believe that Netanyahu supported Hamas?
Absolutely not. But I believe that the Hamas could not.
Well, that's a fact.
Well, I don't know. Now you're sure. You don't have any doubts about that now, huh? That's funny.
That's
everything that's against Israel, you have no doubts. It's good, but everything that's
like
Israel,
Haaretz. That's everywhere, man. Jerusalem Post.
Yeah, I know. Check it out.
See, you guys are heavily indoctrinated with.
Oh yeah, not you. You're not indoctrinated. I see. Okay, I understand.
Absolutely not.
Oh, I am.
Check it out.
With my country stuff, which is in part your country stuff, because of AIPAC and other things.
It's the best country. Israel is the best country for the Arabs in the world, better than America. The best. You understand? The first country that helps the Palestinian in the world is Israel. Not America, not England, not Canada.
They're not second-class citizens there.
It's of course not. I know Arabs in Jerusalem. They're multi-millionaires in the shuk in the old city. They're multi-millionaires. They have like everything. They
same exact rights as Israelis.
I don't understand what you say.
They have same exact rights as Israelis. The Arab population.
The fact that you asked that question, that means you have no clue of the reality. You have the first clue of the reality.
I'm just asking somebody who should know. I don't. You know better than me. I'm asking.
I'm telling you, you shouldn't even ask that because this is something that is known. This is a known thing. It's like do you have rights in America? Where do you live in America? Do you have rights there?
Yes.
You sure? I doubt that. I don't know. Maybe you indoctrinated also. You know,
Everyone's
it's
supposed
easy
to
to
have the
say
same
that.
rights. That's what I was asking. Do they
But
have the same rights?
first of all, it doesn't exist. There's nowhere in the world that everybody's got the same rights. This is bullshit. This is like
Oh,
just
so they don't. Okay. Well,
that's
thanks for
for
admitting it.
even if they say that, you know, people don't have nowhere. However, in Israel, it's very special. To understand Israel, I advise you to come here and talk to Arabs. Don't talk to Jews. Talk to Arabs. You know, Israeli Arabs, non-Israeli Arabs. I have friends that are non-Israeli Arabs that don't have like, you know, an idea, an Israeli idea, and I know them for like years, and you know, with very very good friends, you know, like brothers, and they will tell you they're dying to become Israelis. You know, how come, you know, Arabs don't help them? They're Arabs. How come you don't help them? If you're so like, you know, moved by that, how
Well, are
come
the
everybody like, you know?
Palestinians, are those the real Semitic people, you think?
No, this is another subject. You know, this is not. I'm just asking you a question. When you talk about the Palestinian cause, what is your goal? Is it to help the Palestinians or just to demonize Israel? Tell me the truth. I'm open. I have no problem, you know, with anyone's opinion. I'm okay with this. So what is more
Really
important
like
for you? To expose
really like
Israel for
thousands.
crimes, or to help the Palestinians? What is the?
I'm most upset with basically our money being spent on thousands of years war, religious wars, still in
This is not.
2025.
This is not a
That's
religious
what
war.
I'm upset about. That's it, really.
You're right,
Like my
and
money goes towards bombing little brown kids. I'm not really happy about that.
this is not your money. This is the, you know, this is the money
Our
from the
tax money
business.
doesn't go to like the
No,
Iron Dome
no,
and stuff.
your tax money.
No?
You don't even have enough money to, with your taxes to pay for such a war. It comes from other places. You know, a government and a country is also a business. They have lots of way to make
America
money.
doesn't fund the Iron Dome.
Yeah, but not with your tax
And
money.
what is it coming from?
Well, do you think that the only money that has a country is from taxes? Do you
No,
really
that's not
believe
the
it?
question. You're
Well,
dodging. Where
that's
does
what
it come from?
that's what I'm saying. It's not enough to come from the taxes. There are so many other ways, you know, to make money. When you have like a, you know, plane full of cocaine, you know, owned by the CIA that crashes, you know, in Florida, you know, you understand that, you know, there are other ways to make money than just by taxes. You got to be kidding me. It's like there is
You
like,
do
you
know
know, it
Saudi
makes it about
Arabia.
like 1% or 2% of the money that the government needs, you know, to run the country.
You do know Saudi Arabia gets
Even.
more money than Israel, though.
But you know,
From America.
America gives also billions of dollars to Egypt, but you're not concerned about that,
Oh,
right? And how about but my question, what is more important for you? Is it to defend the Palestinians, or is it to accuse or to expose Israel for attacking them or to persecute them, or I don't know what you think? What is the most important for you? What is your priority?
That's a good question. I haven't really thought that far.
Okay, so what would you say?
I would I think there's a lot of Israel influence in my country, and I'm not really sure why at this
Well,
point.
it's very simple. I tell you why. Because the Jewish people, okay, has a gift to survive. So they're gonna stick, and they're gonna be close to the best of the best, the richest, the most powerful. They're not gonna be friends with North Korea. There's no Jewish lobby in North Korea, not in Zimbabwe. Understand? So of course they're gonna try to influence America and to be there, because you know that's the interest. There's no that's no secret.
I'm
But
I'm
on the
reading.
on the other
I'm
way,
reading. I'm
on the,
reading now on the list for countries that receive the most foreign aid from the US. You know, Ukraine gets 17 billion, 17 point, almost
yeah, but
17.2
that's not
billion.
that's not important. You know,
That's the grand total they've got.
what's important is
Compared to Israel, that hasn't got any economic, or just military, 3.3 billion. Quite interesting.
Egypt is about 5 billion, I believe. The entire Egypt army is like also
It's
supplied
interesting
by
though,
America.
because I don't hear people moaning about Ukraine getting so much money.
But what I'm
Oh,
trying to tell you,
we do.
what
But
I'm
I was talking about Israel in general because I heard you talking about Zionism. So that was kind of the subject. It wasn't like who's giving the most or if we agree with it or not.
Check it out. I have to go because I have a podcast at Matthew's channel now. But just to let you know, don't let people fool you. You have the right to, have doubt about everybody. You have the right to hate people, to love them, no problem. But check things out. Check things out. Don't to jump to, false conclusions too quickly, because it's easy to just judge and, just double check things out, because it's not that simple. It's not like one guy that's going to persecute another guy just to steal his land. This is bullshit. It's not about land. 95% of Israel is empty. It's not occupied. There's no people living. 95%. It's not about land. It's not about land. Okay, I have to go, but nice talking to you.
Right, Sam.
Thanks for coming, Sam.
Try to look at my video, and I like to.
I still got to watch it. I forgot totally about it.
It's like it's going to be like a eye opener. Okay, thanks.
I'm gonna everybody. Cheers, man. Blessings.
Bye bye.
Bless, dude.
Luca, thank you for your. Let's just say thank you, Luca, for your super chat. With no message though, but thank you. Appreciate the support. You rock, man. Appreciate it. And guys, hit the likes, please. It really does help.
And plus, I wanted to add something to that. The biggest thing over with these groups, the people that are actually supposed to be policing the activity between all these so-called terrorist groups that are fighting each other, it has nothing to really do with the people. It's the UN that actually is the problem. And
I don't trust the UN, to be honest.
Yeah, they're just as bad as the rest, but they pretend they're the good guys.
Of course,
they're bought and sold just like the rest of the politicians.
They kind of like the they've taken the role to be the spokespeople of being good for everybody. In the meantime, I don't trust anything they really do. I mean, look at the FEMA camps and things that they're trying to set up. Luca with another $1. Thank you very much. No message again. Yeah. Thank you, Luca. Appreciate the super chat, man.
I got to match him. Hold on.
Anyway, I want to quickly show a video specifically on the casket thing, because I think this is actually what I did want to show. Oh, thank you for gifting a membership. Woohoo! Thank you very much. And Buzz, I received it. Awesome.
Oh, Buzz, nice.
Yeah, nice. And another super chat from Luke. I think Luca just wants me to debate solve. That's all.
That's what I'll head out. Good chatting with you. I find it like I've been in the crowd for so long. I just found it quite ironic that that you would be like a Christian Zionist, and because it's very looked down upon in the far left and far right in America. The far right is kind of the more conspiracy crowd. The far left is kind of the more woke crowd, which are both like anti-Israel, I would say. So I just thought it was kind of funny that it's just kind of ironic that you have your beliefs, but like you're going to get a lot of crap for it.
I've already got a lot of hate. Don't worry.
Yeah. Jumping on board with Palestine doesn't make you anti-Israel neither. I mean, jumping on board with Palestine is stupid.
See you guys. Thanks.
Just thanks for coming, man. And you're welcome anytime. Okay, guys, this is about, remember the people saying that it's a dummy in the casket? Because even last night we were saying this looks kind of wax-like. But this woman, she does embalming. That's what her job is. And she's going to explain to you why it looks like that. Actually, very interesting. And I've actually, after I looked through this, I actually went to go look on some sources to see if it's really what she says. And yeah, it checks out exactly what she says.
It's a pity one on OBS. You could have got like a picture of his hands up, like a kind of close up, and see if they look similar. You know what I mean? See if they look the same. That would be.
His hands do look similar. It just look very
waxy. To me they do. I mean, they look like hands, but I mean, it's they look like what I can remember what his hands look like. But
I could trim him out, and we could zoom in on it if you want to.
But yeah, just look what he's what she's saying there. It's very, very interesting.
Convinced that Charlie Kirk is still alive.
I hope it's loud enough.
Low, isn't it?
Photos Erica posted.
It's very low.
Why is it so? People do the videos like that. I don't know why.
That's a mannequin.
I wonder if
So
I can
let's
somehow set it
pause.
louder.
As an embalmer, I can tell you that is
Is that
absolutely
better?
him, and actually
No.
the exact things
It's
people are
it's
using
hearable.
as proof. The yellow hands, the firmness,
Okay,
the
we'll put
waxy
the.
or silicone appearance, those are classic signs of embalming. So let's break it down. Before I dive in, I want to stop and acknowledge something really important. This is sensitive material. A man just lost his life, and his wife, Erica, is grieving in a way most of us can't even imagine. Part of me hopes she never sees this video because my goal here isn't to add to her pain. But here's the reality. People are already talking. The internet is full of rumors, conspiracy theorists, and outright misinformation. Everything from, he's still alive, to, that's a mannequin in the casket, and as an embalmer, I can't sit back and let people take these wild stories at face value. Yes, this is hard to talk about, but death is hard. He is gone, and the world is already talking about it. So instead of adding to the rumor mill, I'm here to put the facts out there to explain what's normal, what's not,
Fair play
and
to
to
him.
hopefully bring some clarity to a situation that's already incredibly painful. The yellow coloring in his hands, totally normal in embalming. Circulation isn't happening anymore, so the extremities often look darker, sallow, or yellowed. Lighting in funeral homes can also exaggerate that look. I've seen that exact presentation hundreds of times. Now, as an embalmer myself, I'll be honest, I'm a little disappointed in the color of his hands. I know the embalmer who worked on him may not like me saying this on the internet, but I feel like the cosmetics could have definitely been handled better. Hands and lips are two of the hardest areas for
Fair
us to
play.
restore cosmetically. Hands dry out really quickly after death, and lips lose their natural moisture and fullness. If we don't hydrate the body properly, or if you use the wrong cosmetics, you get uneven skin tones, yellowing, graying, or just that slightly off color people are noticing in the photos. Another thing people bring up a lot is, why do they look waxy? That waxy look isn't because the person is fake or a mannequin. It's because the skin itself has changed. Once the embalming fluid replaces the blood, the skin is no longer being hydrated or oxygenated like it was in life. The texture literally shifts. On top of that, mortuary cosmetics are designed to sit differently than everyday makeup. We're working on skin that isn't absorbing product. Sometimes wax is used to rebuild areas. For example, if there's trauma, dehydration, or tissue loss,
I hope people are
then
paying
makeup
attention to what
goes
she's
over
saying.
that.
Oh,
The
yes.
result can look smooth, even a little too smooth, or that's where that plastic or waxy description comes from. It's one of the biggest challenges we face, making someone look as natural as possible while working with skin and features that are no longer alive. On the stuffed appearance, some people said he looks stuffed. That's likely because he probably underwent an autopsy. In most gunshot cases, even when the cause of death seems obvious, a full autopsy is performed. That means Y incision, removal and examination of organs, then everything is placed back in and sutured up. To protect the
Yeah, and like I said, I actually went after I watched this to go look up all the things she's saying. Yes, and you can get it. It's actually very readily available. You can see what she's saying is true.
Right.
So, just for all the naysayers, oh no, she's not really embalmer, she's lying. You might want to go do your research. So yeah.
Embalmer's work, we often place the body in a plastic Unionol suit. Think of it like a jumpsuit that holds everything in place. That can give that little bit of a firm look people are noticing, or if you've ever been to a funeral and you went to touch your loved one's arm and you feel something plastic underneath, that's that Unionol suit. A lot of people have asked me if it's even possible to have an open casket after a gunshot wound, and the answer is yes, it's very possible. It depends entirely on where the wound is and how much damage was done. In Charlie's case, we all saw in the video that the wound was in his neck. Now, I can't say for certain if it was a through and through, but how embalmers handle injuries like that. Embalming proceeds as normal, blood is replaced with embalming fluid to preserve the body. Wound closures. If the tissue allows, we will suture the wound closed. In areas where stitching isn't possible, say the skin is torn or irregular, we use what's called a basket weave stitch, which crisscrosses the area so we can build on top of it with wax restoration.
Thank you, Luca, for 2 more
After
super
stitching
chats.
mortuary wax or a restorative
Why are
filler
you
is
doing it
3
like
more.
that?
area to
Why are you doing it
smooth
like
the
that?
surface. wax
He wants me to
gives us a
debate
base
Sol.
that looks
Oh,
like
he wants
natural
the.
skin.
Oh, he's
We
trying to
may
reach the
use our
target as
brush
well, probably.
cosmetics
I don't
or
know.
cream-based mortuary cosmetics that are designed to cover
Well, I was
discoloration.
going to say just put it in
Special
one.
focus
Oh, it's
on
a good
the
spot.
face.
Okay.
Because Charlie's work was in a visible place,
Fair
Lucas
play.
the
dropped a
embalmer would have had
flash
to
his love,
carefully
man.
As long as you're not
balance coverage
spanning it with
with a
not
natural
nonsense,
look.
then that's not
Families
spine.
often
Yeah,
prefer
good.
minimal cosmetics.
Yeah. But like I was saying, what happens is the reason why it looks like that. It's a process called adipocere formation. It's also known as grave wax. The post-mortem change occurs under specific environmental conditions that cause body fat to transform into a waxy substance. That's why his hands look like it does.
Well, I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a minute. I mean, it could be this either or. I mean, it could be a wax or it could be, but I'm just saying that out loud. That's what first thing I thought of. I mean, I've heard stories about Madame Tussauds and the royal family. Most of their funerals, they faked their deaths and they made wax copies of themselves. And they had the artist at Madame Tussauds actually build these models so they could do this.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just the way I think sometimes. I'm not saying that it's absolutely so, but I mean, it could be the cadaver or it could be a wax figure. That's all I'm saying.
It doesn't. I was wondering if the free ones contributed towards your target. It doesn't.
No, they don't, do they?
No. But I've put this one in just so that
How far are you away from getting the target?
Once mine goes through, 3.
Nice. Yo, freebie. But thanks for being a freebie, man. Appreciate all the
It's
support.
just gone
Man.
through now. It's just gone through.
You rock. Hey, £5. Chennai support. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, PJ.
35
You rock.
35 months. That's
quite,
next month. That's 3 years. 3 years. No. Yeah. Yeah. Next month, 3 years. Wow.
Insane.
Wow.
Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it.
Oh, good.
That might help you right there too. I got you another one.
Especially for a young man.
I wonder if my membership starts changes color at 3 years.
The family knows it's there, and the funeral directors do their absolute best.
Thank you again, Roger, for your $2 just because. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, man. Luke says, Keith and PJ and Solve and me, Zionism debate. All money raised goes to Rogers Antarctica trip. Ooh, that's interesting.
There you go. I'll add it to the kitty. Yeah.
To cover it, but depending on the extent of the damage, it may not look exactly like it did in life, and that's just reality. Got lots of messages about timing and release of his body.
I just wish it wasn't so soft, though.
Time
I know.
But guys, I'm going to stick the link for you guys, then you can go watch it yourself, because it's much louder if you watch it that way.
The sooner, the better.
And Bruce as well, thank you very much for your 2 Australians. Appreciate all the support. You rock.
Giving the embalmer good conditions to work with, in my opinion. Some people noticed that Charlie's wedding ring
I think we're going to hit that now.
My
1 to go.
opinion, Erica likely has it. Families often keep jewelry rather than leaving it with the body. And honestly, that's smart. In a high-profile death like this, there's probably security around his body. But still, I would advise a family not to leave valuable items on their loved one. Better safe.
Yeah, you get grave robbers.
People have also asked me
Yeah, you get grave robbers, unfortunately. That's one thing that we suffer with, though. In South Africa, people love to rob graves. Even the gravestones. If the gravestones are too nice, they actually steal it.
And if they don't like it, they'll deface it too, right?
We've actually got a place in a town called Ventersdorp, where they actually have like a 24/7 security guard at a gravestone to protect it because people keep trying to vandalize it or steal it.
What's it made out of?
Marble.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it's big. It's like a big ornament statue of the guy. I remember a few years ago, somebody made like a BMW gravestone, and after like 2 weeks, it was stolen. And the thing cost like $50,000.
Wow.
So yeah, people steal stuff or break it, you know.
Well,
They just have no
personally-
respect for any dead.
When I die, I don't want to have anything laying around that people want to vandalize neither. I mean, I can't take it with me. I'm not going to be able to like look back at my grave like that looks nice.
Mhm. Okay, so I think this is part 2 of the guide explaining the chest thing, the armor. I think let's watch this.
Information I had,
This is
I
not
outlined what I think happened. And that was a round striking the top of his body armor, deflecting the round upward, which explains a lot of the physics and the ballistics and some other things going on with that entire event.
Now on Artlist, your
thank you,
VO3
Artlist.
credits are worth more, so you can generate way more.
So I'm out here.
For the record, I do not believe Charlie Kirk died because of body armor. I believe that the round would have been lethal with or without body armor. I agree. The chances are always better with the armor. Also true.
Yeah, I like his
Now,
disclaimer.
several
He's
hours
saying-
after I posted that video,
Sorry?
his disclaimer, he's saying he thinks this, he believes this. He's not saying this is an absolute. This is his opinion. That's what he's saying.
Wait. Go to
Vicky, thank you for
There you
10
are.
pounds. Janice said, I will ban Aaron every time I see him. Thank you. I hit the target now. Thank you very much
Nice.
for the support, Vicky. Appreciate you.
there was no things this time.
Really? Nothing.
I didn't see anything. No.
Yeah, not this time. Ah, weird.
Hmm. Really nothing.
Wes wants to know what
No
Chan A
confetti this
is.
time. No confetti.
Let me go explain it to him right quick. What is a Chan
Thank
A?
you very much, Vicky. That rocks. You rock. Appreciate it. Okay, let's carry on with this guy.
several people were sending me pictures like this one right here. Now, as you can see here, it clearly shows the outline of Charlie's nipple, and that presents a problem with the idea that he is wearing some sort of body armor. As a matter of fact, I was receiving these pictures just moments before we were doing a live stream.
Sov, was that you? I'm saying that because I know Sov also presented this as his argument on why he's not wearing body armor. But if you've ever looked, you get different type of body armor, and if it's just body armor that's sitting here, it can move and you can still see the nipple. So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Lucas saw the confetti.
Lucas saw confetti. Awesome.
Oh well, fair play, fair play.
I just saw it too.
Can I just say Can I just say to Wesley that Chani is just because somebody put on I think Vicky put on a super chat
ages ago,
ages ago, and it was channel support was misspelled, so it just stuck. So Chani.
So that's how it's like an inside thing now. It's like Chane support, just for the fun of it. But yeah, I appreciate all the Chane support, guys.
It's kind of the same as when we used to say hit the clicks. That's kind of gone out the window now. But we used to say that for a while. It's because I misspelled once. Yeah.
And hey, I saw the confetti too just now when I went over to the channel.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, all you gotta do is go to the YouTube side. It'll show it to you if you haven't been over there.
Yeah, no, I'm on the PC on the YouTube side. I didn't see nothing.
I did.
Yeah.
It was there.
Okay, good. I wonder if I go on my phone if it'll do it.
Discuss some of these things, and I showed everybody this picture, and I said, hey, look, you know what? I think I might have got some things wrong on this, folks. Now, right after that live stream, I went through some new footage that was coming out and some additional information, and I actually ran into some problems with the no body armor theory. And look, folks, I don't mind being wrong. Well, I mean, I don't want to be wrong. And I spend a lot of time making sure that we're putting together good information and presenting it to you so that you can trust us. You know, I'm not going to let my ego get in the way of integrity on this channel. That's the intent here, right? So if I am wrong, I will happily come out and say it and correct the record and give you the most up-to-date information that we possibly can. But as I started looking at some of these pictures, there were some problems that presented, and I just want to kind of show you those issues that I ran into, and you can tell me what you think down in the comments. First problem that I ran into is I don't know where these pictures came from, or at least when those pictures came from. There is no real continuity of footage. There's a bunch of different individuals with, iPhone footage and things like that, and we're getting into different times. When we were analyzing different photos and pictures from Butler, Pennsylvania, the attempted assassination on President Trump. We had continuous footage from multiple different news organizations that allowed us to put those smaller snippets from people's cell phones in time, right? Sync everything up to know when things happen. Currently, with this event, we don't have this. I don't know how long Charlie Kirk was up there speaking. I don't know if there was a break. Maybe people there can kind of fill.
That's also a thing. This is something I was thinking of last night. When Sav was bringing up, they, straight away they just cleaned the whole mess up and stuff. How do you know they just did it straight away? Where's the actual evidence of that? Is it just hearsay? Because I can't find any footage of them actually cleaning up the scene there. And what also contradicts it, though, is later if he shows someone walking behind there and, in there, once the crowd is dispersed and gone already, that shows that they haven't cleaned up the mess. They're still walking around there. People are walking there, and it looked like people that were working there. So...
Sandro says nipples don't shoot through body armor. You do get body armor; it comes down between your nipples, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, but I'm just saying.
Let me, for instance, do this. If I can, for instance, say this.
Yeah, a bit like that. Yeah.
There's my nipple. There's the body armor. See, there's my other.
Your
nipple.
heart is closer to the middle.
The body armor sitting here. Okay, my nipple's there. My nipple's there.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, it happened. Some people have got nipples further out than others. It depends on the shape of your body. Come on.
I just looked that up. Flats, the cleanup crew, what they're showing me here is people like going back, getting the cameras out from back and putting chairs away and stuff. I don't see anybody like wiping anything down or anything.
This is also interesting. He also showed a video where they said he was taken out in a gurney. His chat was telling him there was no gurney. Interesting.
Yeah, he's getting. I think he's the one I've seen taken out of the gurney where you see the blood on his arm. I don't know if that's when. Yeah, I'm sure that was in the gurney. I'm not. I'm saying I'm sure. I'm not sure. I'm just trying to picture it in my head.
Yeah. One thing I find odd with this video, watching it though, there's all kinds of people walking all over the backside of this thing. There's no they didn't cordon anything off.
Yeah, but those people that were walking there looked like they were people that worked there. You understand? Remember, there were bodyguards there. There were specific people. What Sav was saying was they were cleaning the place up straight away. You know what I mean? And that's not what I see.
Yeah. Well, I think Sav said there was something. There was a gurney. I do remember that originally.
I appreciate the gifted membership, Mr. Jingles. You rock. Luca just got the membership. Woohoo.
Nice, Luca.
Wesley says that's called body armor, Thorn.
I don't know. $5 Australian. He says, by banning Aaron, you're stopping him from financially supporting Keith. Thank you very much for the super chat. I don't know. Appreciate the support.
Hey, listen, that's not what it's all about. You know what I mean? Do you think Flats cares about the money? You know what I mean? No. Vicky's doing it for a reason. He's a troll. Simple as that. If Flats wants to unban him at the end of the month, at the end of the week, or whatever, that's up to him. But
and then Vicky will just ban him again.
Well, Vicky's going to do what she's going to do.
See, there we go.
She's got a reason to. So keep your nose out of that one, Luca, please.
Okay, let's carry on.
Fill us in on some of that information. I don't know if something changed with security, where his security team pulled him off, took him to a bathroom or something like that, and said, hey, look, we want you to put body on.
That's exactly what I'm saying. The crime scene doesn't get cleaned up right away, and I don't see it getting cleaned up. Sav claimed it's getting cleaned up, but I don't see any videos of it getting cleaned up.
On. And I have asked the people to send me these screenshots to send me the corresponding footage so I can get a better grasp on that, and no one has it. And that's an issue too, because what I can tell you is that this is either a picture and or video footage that I can't find anywhere. And it is clearly a completely different perspective than the footage that most of us have seen, this one.
Yeah, that's also something interesting. If you look at this one on the left, it doesn't even look like he's really got anything on. Armor, nothing, you know what I mean? But if you look on the one on the right, you can clearly see the armor. You see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
But
odd.
this is why I do believe that there are some AI videos going around, or say some manipulated videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I do
like the
believe
first
that.
one may be manipulated.
Oh, sorry. Was it that? It wasn't Luca that said that, was it? I was saying that it was Luca that said that.
No, it's I don't know who said that.
Oh, sorry, Luca's in chat. Sorry, bro. For some reason, I thought it's. Why the heck did I think IDK looked like Luca? Wow. I must have just seen the K. Sorry, bro. I did. Sorry, my bad. My bad.
Thomas Morgan, just a like alone already helps so much. You guys have no idea how much likes help on this channel. So appreciate it, guys. I mean, we got more than double the people in about likes. So what's going on? Sure, someone can hit the likes.
You can see right here, this is a screenshot, not even a second before he shot. Not only is the person that whoever took this picture or the video footage much closer to Charlie, it is clearly much further to his right. All right, or as the viewers.
I also want to point out, this could just be an AI image to make it look like it was part of it. Because even look at his face, it looks a bit more elongated compared to his roundness there. You see what I mean? You don't know.
Like I say, yeah. I mean,
So they could just paste his image over the top.
I mean, I can go to Banana Google AI, and I can push this photo in there and tell it to create another
Charlie, yeah,
another vantage point with no body armor on, and I can do that. You understand? So it's very possible that it is just a manipulated image. You don't know. That's what you're saying. It's just you don't know.
So it's a completely different piece of footage that we have no time frame for. So I just don't know if something changed in between there. Now, I do think it would be at least a little unlikely that he would go out there without body armor, and then they would pull him off stage, and then he would go put body armor on. But it's not out of the realm of possibilities. And given that right now we don't have any continuous footage, we don't know if that happened or didn't happen. If you were there and you have information, please send us an email, services@paramounttactical.com. I would love to interview some people that are there and to get your story and to get your perspective of what happened outside of even this. Now, the other problem that I have with this picture is just because we can see his nipple doesn't rule out the fact that he could possibly be wearing body armor. All right, so this is a extra large plate. And if I'm...
There's a nipple. See exactly what I'm saying. See, there's a nipple right next to it.
sitting just like Charlie is right there, and I have this centered, you still can see my nipple. So that doesn't completely rule it out. And I also want you to notice that it does look like there's a little bit of a contouring effect going on. I would almost bet, regardless of whether or not he's wearing body armor or not, that he has some sort of thin compression shirt underneath his main t-shirt.
Something like this. There we go.
Right.
And you see how small that plate is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I mean, they usually make
the main part. It's covering the main organs. Do you know what I mean? That's it.
But these are
That's
also
for the
just
heart.
graded usually for pistol. It's not to stop anything like rifles or anything. It's usually just to stop pistols. You know what I mean?
There's still a lot of exposed area, though, especially around the torso on the outside. It's for a direct shot. Yeah.
But I agree with that. Field of view can cause compression in the face and stuff to look more rounded, elongated as well. So it's not kind of counting that out either.
Now, even with an extra large plate, you can still see the outline of a nipple, especially with Charlie Kirk. He's 6'5". He's a big...
Someone's got a lot of background noise.
I'm sorry, that's my fault.
I thought it was in this video. I was like, what's going on?
Big guy. Now, they do sell in, when you're dealing with low-profile executive type protection like this, where you want the most amount of concealment possible, they do make much smaller plates. This is just a representation of an 8x10 plate. You can either get it sappy cut or even something like this. But you guys can see there's a lot of space between the plate and seeing my nipple. So just because we can see the nipple doesn't necessarily rule out him wearing body armor. Now, even I would argue against myself right here. If he was wearing some sort of plate or body armor in this particular...
Yeah, I agree. You would see some kind of ridge or something. Yeah, you don't really see it. So I agree.
Look at her picture. Even if we could see the outline of his nipple, you would think you would also see the outline of some sort of body armor. Soft, metallic, plate, composite, whatever. But again, we don't know when this picture was taken, and we don't know if something's changed. Now, when we look at this shot sequence, at the exact moment everything took place.
Yeah, you can clearly see body armor underneath. You can see the outline, and you see as soon as it gets shot, it lifts up. So to me, this is like, I don't see how you can look at that and say it's not body armor.
Yeah.
Because that's acting exactly like body armor does when it absorbs the impact of the shot.
To me, we can clearly see a mass, some sort of vest or something like that, underneath his shirt, move upward and then back down. We can see a fairly distinct edge. It goes down and then it settles even lower at the end of this. So as I see it right now, what we're left with is video footage and pictures that contradict one another. And there may be a very logical, good explanation that we're just not aware of right now. But let's just say I got it completely wrong. Let's say he wasn't wearing body armor. We're kind of left in bizarro world because there's nothing else that explains the physics and the ballistics that we see taking place in the video footage. And let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. So this picture right here, we see a couple things going on. So first of all, I would say it sure does look like there is an outline of a plate there. But the thing I want you to really focus on here is the fact that the left side of his t-shirt collar is pulled up almost to his left ear. That is really, really hard to explain if he took a direct shot to the neck. Now, I've heard a lot of people try to explain this away as saying, hey, it was a direct hit. And what we see here is just this is caused by an air turbulence or a vacuum effect of this 30 caliber round with a direct hit to the neck. Folks, that's just nonsense. A projectile flying through the air, even a 30 cal projectile, which is fairly large, doesn't displace enough air to create...
Even a 50 caliber won't displace enough air to cause the vacuum effect. In other words, Bernoulli's principle, to lift that shirt up like that. It's just totally impossible. So yeah, that's why, I don't know, looking at this, I would definitely think he had body armor. And that is why it ricocheted and went into his neck. And that's why he died the way he did. And that's why the bullet didn't go right through. And why his whole neck didn't explode. Yeah?
He was preparing for this kind of stuff. He was prepared. He had armor.
Yeah, but like I said, the armor he had on was probably just pistol grade. It wasn't for rifles. So it wasn't... Yeah, he wasn't expecting, like someone to sit with a rifle somewhere. More or less expecting maybe pistols. Because remember, he's had a lot of death threats.
Yeah.
There has been a lot of death threats on his life and stuff throughout the years, and threats on his family and things. So he's been assaulted before a few times. He's been kicked out of restaurants even just for being him.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people don't agree with him, obviously.
yeah, because people don't agree with him.
Yeah.
I mean, I can show you things of students because they agree with him, that professors literally fail the students just because they agree with Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. Well, that's consensus bias right there. If you ever heard of it, definitely.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's quite sad.
Sort of vacuum effect or air turbulence that would even come close to explaining what we're seeing right here. But you don't have to take my word for it. Let's check out this video from High Speed Ballistics. It's a really cool video. You should watch the whole thing, but this is them exploring the myth that a 50 cal creates so much of a vacuum effect that it doesn't even have to hit you.
The tiniest wrinkle.
See it just going forward, but it does nothing.
So until it actually impacted a plane, nothing.
Yep, there we go.
So as you can see, even with the 50 cal, there is not enough air turbulence or vacuum effect that will even disturb a near miss of flour, much less explain what is going on with Charlie's shirt and this large amount of mass that looks like it's underneath his shirt moving upward and then coming back down. Now let's talk about the most significant problem with this idea that it was a direct hit to the neck. And that is the fact that if it was a direct hit to the
That
neck,
is
the
so
neck.
true, Vicky. Been watching people cry about they lost their jobs. They shouldn't have celebrated a man's murder. Yep.
Do you know
There's so
weird?
many of them.
That's what my next stream's about. That's what my next stream's about. The people who mock.
I was going to stream about it, and I was like, no, let's rather do this. Do this update.
I'm using a guy called Super Simp Saver. He's an English dude who usually goes against like wokeism, and he laughs at all the feminists and the woke and all that. But he's got a video up about people losing their job for Charlie Kirk, a collection of them, him reacting to them. So I'm using his video to it's a load of people lost their jobs for mocking Charlie Kirk. So that's my next stream whenever I'm doing that.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Is fairly thin, and it's 8 to 10 inches. It is not super dense, and even if that projectile hit his vertebrae, we would 100. It's a 30-06. Any rifle caliber, doesn't matter even if it hits his vertebrae, we would see an exit wound, and there is no evidence. And folks,
exactly, and that's why we say, because there's no exit wound, it hit body armor, and all the thing he's been showing shows, matter of fact, that it did hit body armor. You know what I mean? And we do know Charlie Kirk usually did wear body armor because there's been a lot of threats on him. So, yeah.
Exit wound would be significantly larger than the entrance wound. We would see just as much profuse bleeding from the exit wound as we saw from the entrance wound. That doesn't exist. To me, that alone.
Look at that. There we go. You see, if he's just shot directly in the neck, that wouldn't happen.
From the exit wound as we saw from the entrance.
Look, as soon as it hits the shirt, it lifts it up and then it bounces into his neck.
Wound, that doesn't exist. To me, that alone forces us to come up with some additional reasons as to what's going on with that projectile. And the only thing that makes sense is that whether it was a body armor, whether it was, I don't know, doesn't matter. That is that we have some sort of deflection that takes that projectile straight from this way up to that way. And I told you guys in the last video, if you look at, and I'm not even going to show it, like that entrance wound is much larger than it should be. The neck has a lot of elastic tissue. Typically what we'd see in an entrance wound is a very, very small wound. And probably, given the frame rate that we're looking at in the slow motion, we probably would, if it was a direct hit, we probably wouldn't even see an entrance wound at all in the video.
Yeah, it would be very small and just go out. That's why you're looking for an exit wound. But because the reason it has such a big entrance wound is because of the ricochet and because it's like shrapnel after it hits the plate. That's what I was trying to explain to Big Slapper Oink, to Greg. He didn't want to hear. Because he thinks just shooting a piece of meat with his rifle with not even the correct ammunition straight on is somehow showing that this is fake. Not understanding anything.
But it opens up very large, very quick, and of course we have extremely profuse bleeding coming from his neck. But I do believe the reason that we have such a large entrance wound is because we have a projectile that hits something, is deformed, is deflected upward, possibly even fragmented, and then we have a much more angular entrance like this, which makes the wound larger. But probably most importantly, that's the only thing that explains no exit wound with a 30-06. Like there's almost nothing else that can explain it. Now I've also heard the explanation that it deflected off of his collarbone. Folks, that's nonsense.
No. A 30-06 will go through your collarbone. It will literally break it in pieces.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who said
That's
that?
quite cool. Wow.
Not with 30-06. You have a projectile that's 140 grains up to 220 grains, moving from 25.
Is Aid in the chat? I haven't seen him. I see you all comments to Aid, but I don't see his comments.
He was in the chat. Vicky got rid because he told Vicky stop talking.
I want to say I don't see him.
Yeah,
but yeah, he is a retard.
Yeah, he is. He's been a troll for a while. Yeah, he said to Vicky, stop talking shite because she was talking truth. So, like, yeah, fair play to her. It's up to her. Like you said, Fletch, it's entirely up to you. If your mods ban people or time people, it's up to you. At the end of the day, you can always release them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you guys can ban them again.
Well, I try. I'm more lenient now. I'm more lenient. Vicky's just been even Vicky's more lenient than she was last time. A lot more. She's just literally getting rid of the trolls. That's actually trolling. But lately, she's just been timing out. She hasn't been banning. Only the trolls that been trolling. Huh? She's been more lenient than she usually was.
500 feet per second to almost 3,000 feet per second. That collarbone isn't, the bullet's not going to even know the collarbone's there.
Exactly.
It's going to smash through that. There's absolutely zero chance that the collarbone would deflect the bullet in that manner. Now, the other circumstantial evidence that I have is this direct message. I messaged this person on X knowing that he was in contact with Charlie and his team, and this was his response. Charlie wears his vest pretty much all of the time now. I've heard Erica insist, but he refers to his favorite vest as being stealth. When I have confirmed 100%, I'll let you know. All right, so, this video is not about me wanting to be right. If I'm wrong, I will happily come out and admit it. I got no issues with that. I want to make sure that we put out the truth. But all I'm saying is that right now, with the information that we have, there's nothing else that explains what is going on with the physics and the ballistics. During the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And again,
I 100% agree with him.
I do. I do, absolutely. Where that round came from, who it came from, I don't know. But yeah, I agree with this part of it, absolutely. That's how we probably went.
Mm-hmm.
And
I want to point
the physics of it. That's the physics of it.
I want to point out another point brought up by Sov, where he's like about the dents. His dental doesn't look the same because the gums and everything.
I said that there were veneers, didn't I? Then you checked and he had dental work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there his teeth look smaller there.
This is Charlie Kirk's Teeth Secrets by Dent Prime.
Ah, there you go.
Yay, Sam is back. What's up, man?
Hey.
Thanks. Just finished the short podcast.
Oh, okay, cool. So, possible cosmetic dental procedures: porcelain veneers, professional teeth whitening, orthodontic treatments like aligners, corrector misalignment, composite bonding to smooth irregular edges. The veneers we used, they would explain the uniform size, even coloring, and high gloss finish. Veneers are thin porcelain shells placed on the front teeth to improve appearance and durability. They typically last 10 to 15 years with proper care and can be transformed a smile significantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. See the show there with his gums being a bit lower.
Yeah.
And then they show because he had the dental work.
I got it. Rhonda's actually got veneers now, and what they
Because he had small teeth. He had small teeth. He's like
his gums. He had high, low gums.
As soon as I seen it, I was like, yeah, that could be veneers, because I know people whose second teeth have come through. Like one of my exes, her second teeth come through, and they're small. They're small, like their baby teeth, and that's kind of what his look like. And I don't blame him for getting veneers because they look small for your face.
And
I was going to say when they actually put the veneers in, they actually grind your gum down. They literally grind the teeth.
They'll shift your gum up. They'll shift your gum and they'll shave it. They'll shave the back of the veneer into it as well.
But remember, he also goes through those procedures so he can look more politically. How can I say? Correct. And presentable, so people will trust him more, because people do trust a person that looks more presentable. You know what I mean? If you just have some bum walking there and it doesn't look,
or it could actually just be the fact that he was conscious of his smile. Maybe he just wanted a better smile.
Could be anything. But the fact is, and
he's going to be smiling at a lot of people. What he does.
The fact is, I'm just pointing this out. No, he had dental work done. Not a different person. No stunt double. Sorry. So yeah, I think that's practically all I wanted to present tonight anyway. I did kind of rush through this stuff. But yes, he was on track for being president. If you did watch his wife's speech 2 days ago, she did say he would have eventually maybe run for office. So, and a lot of people say, yeah, if he did run for office, he probably would have become president.
Yeah.
Well, but I would voted for him. Maybe, but I don't vote, so.
But no, I don't vote. I mean, no, I wouldn't have voted for him because I don't vote. No.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
Well, I wouldn't have voted for him because I'm not in that country. That's why I wouldn't have voted.
Well, the reason I don't vote is because politicians are subject to lobbyists and they can get bought for policies. And I may not agree with them, and there's no way I can control that stuff. That's why I don't vote for them. That just makes sense to me. They can be bought and sold. That's the reason why I don't vote.
What's going on with King Nico's channel?
He's
got some weird. He's got a stream going, but nothing's happening.
Because he's
Just
selling it. He's selling it.
Help me to keep this channel going. That's all it says.
All right. So, well, last night I even sent him to Michael. In his chart, I clicked his chart, didn't I? Took a screenshot of his chart. This is it here. If you want to have a quick look. That one. That's what he was saying in his chat. Channel for sale.
Maybe this is not King Nico. Maybe it was replaced.
He's a clone. He's one of PJ's other clones.
And that says that channel for sale. I need to move on from this BS. Then none of you helped me, as I asked was all I asked was for you to share, and you didn't. Come on, people must have been sharing. It was in his chat, surely. Of course they were.
I don't know why. That's weird. I mean,
why does he want to sell? I mean, but now he's saying, "Help me keep it open."
Why does he want to sell the channel? Just give it away or close it.
Yeah,
sell it. Who's gonna buy it?
I know. Well,
I'm not gonna buy it.
mind you, Randy sold his channel and Brandon bought it. So yeah, it does happen.
Didn't Randy give it to him? But didn't Randy just give it to Brandon?
No, I think he bought it. He bought it. I think Brandon bought it. It was they actually both. It was kind of both their channel for a little bit, and then I think Brandon kind of took over. I think he actually bought it. I mean, I could kind of double check that, but I think a lot of people will tell you that he bought it.
Okay, did Ranty retire after somebody bought his channel?
Well, he's come back, isn't he? Obviously,
yeah,
he's definitely come back. But
McToon bought the channel. I heard that McToon bought it.
Ranty isn't a global, really. He knows it's flat. I'm telling you, he knows.
Of course, I know. Of course, I know.
Hey, where did McToon get his channel originally? He got it from who? Cats.
That's right. He bought it 50,000 subs, was it at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Conspiracy. I'm going to do a stream on barrel distortion. I just got a nice article on really what causes the effects when you actually look at high altitude. It has nothing to do with a fisheye lens or a rectilinear lens. It has everything to do with the barrel distortion that is on the lens. That's where you get any distortions. It has nothing to do with the lens itself necessarily. It on long shots like that, if you've got a horizon a long way away, any distortion will come from the barrel. I got hit with that last night. Like, oh, it's all barrel distortion? You're using a fisheye lens, so I'm going to break it down. It's really easy.
So tell me something. Like, I don't understand what's the big deal with that Charlie Kirk thing there. I don't know. I saw that guy like a couple of times. I didn't know what he was doing and everything. So now I heard that he was supporting Trump. He was supporting Israel, and he got shot. So what's the big deal? What do people make a big deal out of this? Like, okay, he got
I don't know. People just they have some weird obsession saying he's not dead.
But he was shot in front of everybody. That means that
exactly. I like this guy. I watched Charlie Kirk get assassinated. This is my experience. Yet people
who make those videos? Maybe it's a CIA, psyop
Yeah,
or
but-
some shit, because
well, let's
all
put
the
it this way.
information comes up right away and everything. It's like it's prepared. It's like it's not like
Yeah, but I mean, let's look at this here. There's thousands of young students there. They see this live happening, and it's somehow fake.
no, in the movies, you can also fake things, but it's different when you in front of people looking at you live, and
Right.
but it's but what will be the point to kill him and so he's not dead? Like, what's the game? What's the end game? What's the point of doing this? Like, for what? Well, who gains anything from that? Like.
Well, the left will definitely have a gain if he does. He would be a popular president as it goes.
Yeah, but
People
look at
start-
this guy, okay?
Right.
I haven't watched
Yeah.
this yet. I'm watching this fresh with you guys. He was one of the guys witnessing this.
I was at the Charlie Kirk event yesterday when he was assassinated. I want to tell what I saw. I was excited to go. I enjoy that style of discourse, public debate. Talk about whatever subject you are passionate about. You get to know both sides really well. I think that type of dialogue and discourse and debate is important, and I was excited to be there and hear what's on everybody's mind. Showing up to campus, it was exciting, right? UVU's my alma mater. I haven't been there in a very long time, but you could feel like getting closer to the event. You could start to hear it. You could hear pro USA chants. You could feel the energy in the air. Kind of felt like a South American soccer game. UVU is not a small campus. It's got 46-ish thousand students.
It's insane,
This
Moxie.
Charlie Kirk
Insane.
event had about 3,000 students at it, and they were energized. There were more people there than I thought there would be. More people than I expected. There were lots of young families, lots of kids, lots of moms with their little babies strapped in their front pack thing. Charlie was down in this kind of like a pit, right? It's about 30 feet lower than the main level, and then you had terraces going up. You had main level, and then you had second story all around. Outside, open air, and there was lots of opportunity for people to have direct line of sight to them. Lots of people could see the action and what was happening, which I guess ultimately is also not a great thing. I worked my way down low to the bottom. I was about 30 yards in front of Charlie, in front of the tent, in front of the prove me wrong tent. It was tightly packed. There were a lot of people there. And so we're all standing shoulder to shoulder, and I found the perfect spot with two short people in front of me, and I could see everything. It's kind of like scoring a good spot at a concert. That's what it felt like. We weren't far into it. We were on the second or third question. We were probably 20 minutes in.
20 minutes
and
is the answer.
They were talking about
Because
gunfire.
we were wondering how long it was in before the shot took place and stuff. So about 20 minutes, he says.
Okay.
Quite
Yeah,
interesting.
you notice he did smile when he said "prove me wrong," like he could prove Charlie Kirk wrong in his own mind. He's against him. Start tell.
I don't know. I haven't watched this. I remember he's also probably suffering from PTSD, so he's got to try and cope with it somehow. And this is what I'm trying to point out to the people that say it's faked.
So
3,000 people witnessed this thing live.
Well, what's the point? Let's analyze that thing. What is the point to try and to convince people that his death was fake? That means they're going to tell what they're trying to do. In fact, is to destroy the credibility of that guy. Because if it was fake, that means he faked it also. That means he's a liar, he's a deceiver, and then everything he was saying so far is like a lie. That's the point of saying that he was he faked his own death. Because what's the point of saying that? And so people trust him, liked him, loved him, and now you're gonna say, oh, but he fooled you, he deceived you. You think he's dead? Ha ha! Ha. He's not dead. He's laughing now. You understand? So it's just to break that what he built. I believe with the people. That's the only reason I see that you could say something like this. And also all these proofs are like popping up in the same time, like thousands of proofs, like his finger. This is all bullshit. You can see it's Photoshop. The finger is like father, and it's bullshit. But it comes up in the same time. That's a black op. That's a CIA style, like a psyop. This is bullshit totally. But again, everything is possible, but it doesn't make sense at that point. It's like
yeah. The only point I'm trying to make now is for the people who are saying it's fake. How did the 3,000 people witnessing this live? Not realize it's fake.
Yeah, like for the September 11th, some people say that there was no planes. There were no planes in the air, and it was that they faked the sky. Like David Weiss said, they faked the skies. Okay, they faked the skies, they faked the sun, they faked the stars, they faked you too. But how do they do that? So there is a limit.
At the end of the day, people did die. There was an actual explosion in the towers. People literally jumped from the buildings. People died.
Yeah, but this is a psyop. It is in order for you not to be able to believe nothing and anything that you see. That means it's just to keep you in a state of total confusion, total paranoia all the time, and that's what it is. Because now you cannot trust nothing. You're just going to be like you're going to doubt everything, and that's the point. I think that's we're working on that. That's why when they're going to maybe try to make that the fake alien invasion there, because they're working on that. Then people will also be confused. They won't be able to to judge if it's true or not true. They're going to be like, whoa. So for me, it's like it's a game. It's a game, and it's not really people that are coming up with these proofs. It's made. It's made. It's some kind of a secret service behind that, some kind of an agency, some shit. And that's the only reason why, just to break that love and respect, and so he cannot be remembered, just to stop everything he did, in the eyes of the people, to just tell them that he's a scammer, he's a liar, Then of course he's lying about Trump automatically, and about Israel, and about everything else, since he lied about his death. So he lied about everything else. You understand?
This is causing more division.
Can I just say, Chilster, shut up about Vicky, will you? Shut up. I can't see you. I've blocked you, but I can obviously see you on the Resteam side. Shut up, you idiot. Racist prick.
Chilster's talking shit in the chat.
Oh, in the chat.
Chilster Deluxe, not chilling, not chilling.
Yeah, Chilster Deluxe. There we go.
Piss off, you knob.
Anyway, okay, guys. Any closing statements?
Apart from that, sorry. Sorry about that.
No stress, man.
That's all right.
She's my missus. I'm going to stick up for her.
Yeah, no, do so.
Yeah. I don't have any real closing statements more than I'm going to do a stream on shooting fish in a barrel, and I'm not going to make a decision until they actually release all. Looking at it, there are red flags. I agree, but I don't be close to it.
Yeah. And you, Sam? What's your
No, that's my only advice with everything that's going on is just like, don't lose your head, just try to always check things, double check them, triple check. You have all the means, to do so today with the internet, we have access to so much information that it's easy to double check things, and, truth always makes sense. It's always simple. It always makes sense. And when it gets too complicated and, or too crazy, usually it's not truth. It's lies. But anyways, what else can I say for that?
Yeah, he did do that. What Vicky said actually. But,
yeah, but I removed the spanner, so
I'm not repeating it.
There we go. It's as simple as that, guys. If you can't behave yourself, your spinner gets removed.
Yes, exactly, Jedi. Exactly, Jedi.
Amen. Exactly. Okay. So my statement I'm saying, guys, is anybody who claims Charlie didn't die, I stick to the same statement. You guys should get your heart checked.
Absolutely.
You have no sympathy for someone who's died, even if it is a fake event. It doesn't mean there was an actual death. It doesn't mean people actually are suffering from seeing this. They have PTSD from seeing this thing. People are wired differently. And you have to also think of now his wife and children that are going through this death. Have some empathy, have some sympathy for a person that died, even if you didn't support the guy or have the same kind of beliefs. It doesn't mean you shouldn't be human. You know what I mean? And I do think it's very wrong of people just to harbor on and say, "Nah, the guy didn't die." I think it's sick.
Yeah,
I think it's sick.
That's it. The Bible says, "Test all things." I tested it, and I think the opposite of the people who think Charlie is not dead. I think, you know what I mean? It says, "Test all things." I tested it. I think he's gone. He's gone. Yes, I see dodginess in the situation, but he's still gone.
That's exactly the point. You have the right, to believe anything you want, but then you have the obligation to check your beliefs.
Exactly.
That's right.
And also, if you have to look at his motives for acting like he died, there's just literally no motives that will benefit him at all. So it's really stupid. Anyway, it was great having you guys on. Appreciate it. The votes came up. The agenda against Charlie Kirk is pathetic. 53% say yes, 32% say no, and in between 15%. So appreciate you all. Guys, do hit the likes. It really, really does help the show to grow. Some of my likes went down. How the hell did that happen? But anyway, thank you all for the likes. Really appreciate you. Appreciate all the super chats. I will contact Sov and ask if he wants to debate the Charlie death thing. So anyway, you guys rock. Appreciate you all. Till tomorrow night. Many blessings. Oh no, not tomorrow night. It's Tuesday. PJ's live tomorrow night, guys.
Oh yeah.
I'll see you all Wednesday.
Me and Jaden together, yeah. And then it'll be boxing night over and Rumble afterwards, which will be, we're doing 2 Canelo fights. Not the one he just did. I still don't know one that I tell people not to tell me because I haven't watched it yet. But the one he did, the 2 he did with Golovkin. And then after I'll do a Ricky Hatton fight because Ricky Hatton just died, the boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I did with George Foreman when he died. So, yeah.
So remember, tomorrow night it's Bible study and then PJ's live. So I'll see you all Wednesday.